What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a good time out there. We got some great guests today, and we're going to have a pretty cool show going on. First and up is Generation Crypto, who's looking down right now. What's going on, Generation?
Good. It's going good. I didn't expect to be first. So.
Well, you know what? I felt like you were number one because you weren't paying attention. I wanted to, throw you up on the screen just like I'm throwing RJ up right now, who's eating, and he has a mouthful of food.
You put me last time.
No, I wanted to throw you up because I saw your mouth was full, so you didn't have a chance to swallow. I wanted to make sure you were up before anybody else, before you could get that down there. And so now we're going to be throwing Moonboy right into it because he didn't even know. He just popped into the room. I'm just throwing people in randomly. They don't even know what's going on. I don't even care. And then Atlas, he's not paying attention. We'll throw him up here as well.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey, what's going on?
This is going to be a wild ride.
Hey, Tim, bro, I got something for you. A fat rip.
Ooh, let's see a fat rip.
Fatter.
That was a good one.
Weak.
We don't want to make you. We don't want to make you laugh and hurt your lungs.
I think Joe can definitely rip it way more than I can.
He could take a fatter rip. All right, guys. So I have a structured show today. I have some cool stuff to go over. I'll basically be doing a random style. So I'll bring up a topic and then I'll throw it out to someone. It's not going to go in a linear mode. Just if I feel like you're not paying attention, I'm going to throw the topic to you just to try to get you off guard. That's just the way I play it. So just get ready. All right. The first topic is SafeMoon Sunday event and your thoughts on it. And let me see. Who am I going to... Atlas, you can go.
Okay, well, I felt that this could have been handled a lot better. I think the biggest thing that a lot of people are kind of overshadowing, let's go ahead and start with the positive, right? I want to start with talking about OpenSea. And I'm very curious why not a lot of people are really pushing this over on social media and stuff. The NFT series that they're going to be launching, the Naughty Knots, let's be real. As far as for where you're going to launch those things, you want to get good exposure, right? OpenSea is a massive platform, and they're dealing with a huge array of people in the NFT space. That's a great market to try and tap into. And John and Ryan, they had said that that's just where they're starting, then they'll start to branch out into other ones. I was a little bit caught off guard by that because I thought that they were going to actually start with talking about Hadooey and that whole partnership that Charles was really pushing forward with. I think that's still something that's going to be in play. I don't know if that's going to be more geared towards the stuff with the NFTs for the wind turbines, or if it's just another inclusion kind of doing these cross-chain bridgings. But I think the fact that they mentioned that they're going to be doing OpenSea is a great talking point for sure. Shortly afterwards, they had launched the update for the Safemoon Wallet, which I'm sure that's something we could talk about in itself. But we knew that that was something that was in development. They just lightly touched on. As far as for things that I personally feel that they could have done better with the AMA was just the level of professionalism. We don't want to be taken as a meme coin. John doesn't want to be taken as a meme coin, and just the way that he dresses and holds himself. Yes, it can be more relatable for a lot of people, but when you looked at that AMA live stream and you saw the responses from the community, that kind of spoke for itself. And about 90% of the community was upset with certain key things. I think the biggest thing that people were upset with was the fact that a lot of the actual AMA was focused more so on these other partners that have been brought in for SafeMoon Swap. And I think it's a good intention that we try and bridge the communities together to give them a little bit of a spotlight as well, to make it look like SafeMoon's not just using them, but we are really, as a company, as SafeMoon is a company, I should say, they're trying to be more inclusive and to find a way to help bridge everyone together. They could have cut that down to like 30 seconds or a minute and then had more time to elaborate on a lot of other topics. Like, for example, Mandala. It's been something that's been really hyped up, but people that tune into the YouTube stream, maybe they don't really know what's been talked about over on the Twitter space and stuff. And if you're going to be recapping on certain things, that's a really big one to be touching on, especially with the news that we found out today.
Wow. All great points. In fact, I liked how professional it looked. I think they're getting much better with their quality. So I think the video quality, the sound quality, I think it's all getting better. I really like the little stick that they did with John eating the pizza, although I wish I would have seen a nice close-up of him biting into it rather than a faraway shot where he just bit it and spit it out. But other than that, I mean, I agree with you. I feel like a lot of people may have not been in the Twitter space, been in the Discord, and they only get their information from YouTube. and there's different scattered parts of it all over the place, and that was one place that everyone can tune in to get the information if they're not on all these other social media outlets. So I feel like for someone who is completely into it, someone that knows, that's in a lot of spaces, someone that's in Discord a lot, someone that's on Twitter a lot, you may have known a lot of that stuff already, so it may not have seemed as exciting. But the cool thing is they did drop a wallet update, and we'll talk about that coming up. But Generation, what was your thought on the SafeMoon Sunday?
You know, I know there was kind of a rift that was created with the SafeMoon Sunday, right? There was a lot of people that were very negative about the outcome and what was talked about. People felt like the developers have been out of touch. And then you had the other people who were saying that it went really well, and they really enjoyed listening and hearing from all the different tokens that are now on the swap and in this a part of the SafeMoon Galaxy. Personally, I do feel like they should have touched on Mandala a lot more. That was like the biggest news around SafeMoon at the time, is that we were getting listed on a major exchange. And I felt like there were still a lot of questions around that. So maybe there was reasons why they couldn't talk about it, but I think at least addressing, hey, we're going to be listed on this exchange. This is when it's going to happen. We can't really talk about the finer details right now, but this is kind of a timetable of when you'll be able to get more information and where you're going to get it. Would have been a lot more helpful. It was really short, so I know that they definitely had the time compared to last AMAs to fit that information in there. And that was kind of my biggest hang up there, was just making sure that we do talk about the major things when they come. And there was things touched out in the past, like in the last AMA, they mentioned that they would be talking a little bit more about the exchange and information on that. I feel like that wasn't touched on enough, considering what they talked about before. Obviously, they're growing, they're learning. They heard the response from the community, and they're going to do better in the future to make sure that they're on par with those things, and they're going to adapt to that like they've always done in the past when things haven't been, right on point. So I don't want to talk too harshly on them. I think that it wasn't their best AMA that they've ever had. At the same time, though, I don't expect groundbreaking information at every AMA, because that's just unsustainable. At some point, you've got to say the things that are going to happen and then execute them. You can't just keep giving promises and hype on every AMA, because by the end of the year, you would be having just outrageous claims they would never be able to keep up with. So I like the fact that they've mentioned that, they can't always be bringing crazy stuff to the table every time. But at the same time, let's make sure that we're touching on base with the things that are coming out, that are next, that people do want to hear about. And it doesn't have to be a crazy AMA every time, and that's okay.
Wow. Great answer. Moonboy, what did you like better, the halftime show at the Super Bowl or the SafeMoon Sunday event? And be honest.
The halftime show, man. I'm sorry, but no.
Sorry, John, you lost out to the halftime show.
Don't shoot. I'm innocent, right? Honestly, when it comes to the SafeMoon AMA this Sunday, kind of bittersweet overall. I like what they did. Hey, you have partnerships. You want to introduce them to the SafeMoon community. And that idea moving forward is incredible, right? But give that its own moment. Why not have individual videos on the YouTube channel? Or why not have just one big video that's, compiled with all the sponsors and all the people you're partnered with in one video interviewing them? Why be part of the SafeMoon Sunday? Because when I think of the SafeMoon Sunday, I'm going there for specific SafeMoon news. So they have the YouTube channel. They can do other videos. They can do other things. They can have other segments. I don't want to talk about the roadmap that we previously had, but we were supposed to have a SafeMoon podcast. They could have introduced the podcast and bring them on as a guest, and that would have been a cool introduction to the podcast if they want to kind of diversify their reach. I don't think it'll be too difficult to kind of meet, once a week, just go live, and they could have brought the partners on at that point and discuss the benefits and what the token has and the future of their roadmaps as well. So yes, I was disappointed just like everyone else when it comes to detail. The clothing I don't care about. They can wear hoodies, they can wear whatever they want, be comfortable. People are here wearing, tattoos and earrings. It's, I don't care how someone looks. I care about what's coming out of your mouth. And that's based off of just what people are looking for. People want the suits, people want the ties. I just want transparency, and I want honesty, and I want to hear that you are working what you're working on. I'm with Generation when it comes to the Mandala exchange. I keep saying Mandela. I don't know why I keep thinking about the previous African president. Mandala, people keep crucifying me about that. I think that was incredible. Big news, and now we have actual date, which was announced after the
we're going to get to that. Don't go too far into the date. We're going to get that topic is coming up. It's a hot topic. It'll burn your hand.
But that exchange listing was announced after the previous SafeMoon Sunday. The fact that it wasn't announced at all, or they didn't dive into it at all, they didn't discuss how tokenomics are going to work. They didn't discuss the fact that SafeMoon is going to be the first reflection token that is going to offer tokenomics on a centralized exchange. The whole SafeMoon Sunday could have been about that specific topic. Zero mention, zero info. We're here, trying to hunt through rabbit holes and kind of go into our own theories. We could have heard it specifically from them, but they didn't go into any detail. So I'm not going to paint any FUD from that. It is what it is. They're going to conduct themselves how they conduct themselves. It doesn't change the fact that I'm bullish about SafeMoon overall. But yes, I wish they would have dived more deep into specifics. And I know the blockchain isn't ready. I know the exchange isn't ready, but just updates. Just updates. You can just say, still working on it, guys. We're working on it. Waiting on the money license. Waiting on that. We're waiting on that, and then we're gonna move forward. No mention. It hasn't been mentioned for quite a few SafeMoon Sundays at all, and it's the big thing that is bringing people on board and that's keeping them bullish. So that's just my thoughts overall. I want more SafeMoon specific news, and if they're gonna do the partnerships and the AMAs that they're moving forward, I would like that to have its very own moment separate.
Okay. RJ, they switched the format this year to YouTube. They used to do a Twitter space where people could ask questions and they would take live questions and stuff like that. How do you think that format compares to the YouTube pre-recorded stuff? Would you like to see a mixture of both the Twitter spaces again or Discord space where you can actually ask questions to the core team? Or do you like that it's just a pre-recorded YouTube show that you can now tune into?
I like the fact that it's YouTube now. I had a very, very strong stance on the Twitter spaces. It invited a lot of trolls. It invited a lot of wasted time and questions. And that's, of course, just my opinion, right? We have a when the AMA was Twitter spaces, the way I saw it was we had a very small time to interact directly with C-level leaders in SafeMoon, CEO John Crony, I'm talking Fudhound, right? And people would ask just really far-fetched questions that wouldn't help at all. And so I actually really like the YouTube variant of it. Now, they definitely need to, because it's pre-recorded and because they can deliver the information however they want to paint it, they need to do a better job of that. You guys saw it. We saw it all over the YouTube comments. We saw it all over Twitter posts. There was a lot of people that weren't happy with that AMA, right? And I'm not going to sit here and bash them. It's just a learning curve for SafeMoon. They're trying to find their niche. They're trying to be friendly in the beginning with John trying to bite the pineapple. Cool, that was cute. A lot of people didn't like that at all, right? They're like, wow, I just wasted like 3 minutes of my life. I instantly turned off the AMA. And then all of a sudden we get into CEO John Crony and the Fudhound for like 2 minutes, and then we go into their partners, which is cool, right? But like Moonboy said, maybe save that for another space. We spent 15 to 20 minutes with our partners, and as proud as we want to be with the SafeMoon partners, people are tuning into the SafeMoon AMA to hear about SafeMoon, right? Whether that's big news or whether that's just news in general. Like Generation said, it doesn't have to be groundbreaking news all the time because it is unsustainable. But when I'm invested in SafeMoon and I want to see and I want to hear what my investments are doing for me, we were supposed to hear about blockchain. We haven't heard anything about the blockchain, right? That's huge. For a techie like myself, I need to know something. So like Moonboy said, give me something. Say that you're working on it. Say that we're here. Communicate with your investors. The exchange, cool. We're coming up on it. Just, we signed up for the EU license. That's on its way. Just talk to me about it, right? The comments on YouTube said everything. Like, just read the comments on it and you'll see the disappointment and how upset people were. But like I said, I think people are just, SafeMoon's starting to get their groove, I suppose. This is their second YouTube SafeMoon Sunday. So it's going to be a learning curve for them as they try to niche down on which audience actually gravitates towards them. But yeah, long answer short, I like the YouTube variant better.
All right. Awesome answer.
Atlas has his hands up.
Who? Atlas? Go ahead.
If I can just add a little bit more, I like the fact personally that they did give a little bit of a spotlight to these other partners, but I feel that it should have only been restricted to maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute. There's a lot of hype that comes into play with this of having new partners come to SafeMoon Swap. And we've talked about this in previous roundtables, but just look, for example, at Shiba Swap. If we were able to acquire the same level of daily trading volume that they're doing, that's going to have a huge impact on SafeMoon's price, SafeMoon's activity, because SafeMoon Swap has 0.25% of every single trade, whether it involves directly SafeMoon as part of that swap or not, because it is involved on the SafeMoon ecosystem that helps SafeMoon. So bringing awareness to these other projects, I think that's okay. If you want to have a more dedicated separate video, that's okay. A brief introduction, though, is something that's hype, especially because, let's be real, a lot of these partners, they went in person to the office space. They can set up a camera, do a quick little like insert of something, add in some cool little music, and just give it a really fun vibe, a really exciting vibe. They've had a month, right? They're doing these once a month now to do these kinds of things. It is exciting that we are getting new partners. It is very informative to learn even just the most fundamental about these other companies. But most of the space should be about SafeMoon itself.
I agree. We're good. You want to keep on this topic, Moon Boy?
No. Completely irrelevant, but I took you guys' advice. I am growing the beard. I'm trying.
Ooh.
So I got one here. Look at that, right there. So Tim gave me advice. RJ generation. So I'm trying. Shave every day and make sure it just keep growing. So just want to add that in there. I'm trying, guys. It's coming. See.
You could also take chia seeds, chia, and that might
I've heard
work.
that too.
That
Moon
might
Boy's
be
laughing. My friend mentioned that. I didn't mention that in the last roundtable, but I heard
Yes,
the
he
same
is.
thing from what Tim's saying.
So what? You grind it up and make it into powder, or what?
No,
what
you
do
eat
do?
it.
Yeah, you just
You just
paste
eat
it
it.
on your face. Yeah.
Eat it. Okay.
My friend
I'll
told
try
me
it.
you just eat it.
All right, the Mandala. See what I'm doing now? The Mandala listing on the 17th. What do you guys think will happen with the price and the tokenomics? Do you think that we're going to start getting a lot more volume? Do you think the price is going to go up? Do you think we're going to get a lot more reflections? I'm going to shoot to Generation Crypto on this one.
And how did I know you were going to call on me?
Because you looked like you didn't want to be called on, and that's why I was like, I'm going to him.
Oh, that's funny. I think that there's going to be obviously an upkick in volume, right? It's another exchange. It's another option for people to load on. There's people who already hold SafeMoon that will just support Mandala strictly because they're listed there, right? So they were planning to buy before, or they've been waiting around to buy in again. They're going to buy in on the Mandala exchange. I definitely think there will be new holders because of the Mandala exchange. How much that's going to impact volume and how much it's going to impact price, especially over the long term, is really hard to judge because we don't have solid numbers on what the actual daily volume is on Mandala and what SafeMoon's going to do when it gets listed. Because for all we know, SafeMoon could end up being 80% of the volume on Mandala once it's listed, right? So whatever numbers they have now could go up a lot because of the Safemoonarmy coming in and wanting to be a part of it, and it being another easy way for people in other locations to be able to get on Mandala and buy because they were turned off maybe with having to use MoonPay, or it was unavailable where they live, and now Mandala is that option for them to purchase and participate in the tokenomics that Mandala will offer. So it's really hard to judge, but I definitely think there will be a definite increase in both volume and potentially price with SafeMoon. The real question is, how big is that impact going to be, and is it going to be sustainable? What I don't want to see is a massive increase the first week, and then it just kind of like falls flat, right? Because the excitement's over. So what I'm hoping is that we get a good steady increase, and then that stays there, that there's always going to be that maintenance of that volume over time. And I think that would be the best for the project.
I agree. I think that it may start a little flame. You might get a little wick there, but I'm not sure if it's going to maintain. It might get a huge spike and might get a drop. I think there will be some movement in volume. I think we're going to start to see real reflections finally because we are getting on a bigger exchange. But like you said, it's hard to know the exact volume that we'll be bringing in. RJ, what are your thoughts on Mandala? Do you like it? And what do you think will happen on the 17th?
This may sound naive or ignorant, but I never heard about Mandala before people really started talking about it. And then, of course, I started doing a little bit of my own research on Mandala. In terms of price action, because I don't know if a lot of people knew this, but I day trade, so I'm really keen on technical analysis, and I like to see how news affects price of projects. And it's the typical, and I saw someone talking about it in the comments, it's your typical buy the rumor, sell the news. As much as we hate to hear that, it is something that happens. Now, we might get absolutely 100% an initial spike in volume, of course, naturally, as we get listed on an exchange. And with an increased volume will come with supply and demand. And so as people start to buy it up and it drives volume, price will go up a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to go parabolic as people are hoping. So that's just my 2 cents on it. I think we will see absolutely an increase in volume in SafeMoon. How much volume? Unknown. We will see an uptick in price, but I would just want to make sure that we set expectations that it may or may not go parabolic, right? That's just my 2 cents on it.
Moonboy, do you think you will get more facial hair or you will get more volume on Mandala?
Well, that is going to be quite the challenge. I'm going to try the Chia thing, and I'm going to try to beat SafeMoon when it comes to growth. So we're going to see if I can grow a beard first, or we can hit, let's say, about 50 million in volume on a daily basis. We're going to check it out. But we introduced a brand new term, global tokenomics. I love how that sounds, global. Wow. That's such a nice little word there. It actually tickled me a little bit. You guys know where it tickled me, right? So the idea behind this is that now SafeMoon is the pioneer when it comes to how does tokenomics function on a centralized exchange. Mandala is essentially the starter guinea pig to see what happens. And I'm sure every exchange is looking at them. Everyone knows about SafeMoon. I don't care if you're Binance, Coinbase, there's no way that SafeMoon is this big. And the CEOs, the people in those companies, the marketing, the people in marketing, the agencies, there's no way they don't know about SafeMoon. So they're most likely looking at how is Mandala going to pull this off. So it's definitely going to put quite a bit of eyes on SafeMoon and kind of see how the global tokenomics functions. So based off of the tweet as well, it looks like all the volume is going to interact with each other, regardless if you're on a decentralized exchange or a centralized exchange. It doesn't matter if you hold your SafeMoon in your MetaMask or SafeMoonwallet or the exchange itself. All the volume will interact and go to the very same place. So it's actually going to be within our ecosystem. Unlike Bitmark, who has to, I think there are reflections on a bi-weekly basis. And they do something different when it comes to tokenomics and volume over there, right? So this is our first testing ground. Very, very excited. We have a date, we have a listing, and I'm kind of with RJ. I think this is actually not financial advice, a good opportunity to maybe swing trade. I'm just saying, we might see a nice little spike. Maybe don't do what I do, but sell the top, rebuy back on the bottom. I might be looking at that because I do expect a spike when it comes to just hype and news and people who might have, held off on purchasing SafeMoon because they wanted to see if other exchanges would take it seriously. Well, we have an exchange who probably isn't as popular as we would like it to be, but they have ties to Binance when it comes to shared liquidity. They use a Binance Cloud service for, their security in other features as well. So, it could be enough for people to kind of ape in saying, okay, I can see where SafeMoon wants to go and I can see the people they're trying to align themselves with. And yeah, we might get that spike. It might not be parabolic, but it could be a 2 or 3x. We have no idea. Maybe something to look out for. But volume-wise, I think it'll be pretty cool. If SafeMoon can capture 1% of what the exchange is offering when it comes to overall volume, 1% of 4 billion. I mean, it's additional 4 million, right? No, that's not 4 million. What is that? 40? Is that 40 million? I think. Whatever the 1% is of 4 billion. So I think it's about 40 million, whatever it is. But it's going to be incredible to see it. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow and, what goes on when it comes to the, coming days soon after. So, yeah.
Awesome answer. Crypto Atlas, I didn't forget about you, but I'm going to give you a new one. And this is going to tie into Mandala.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is
fun things I wanted to say on the last topic, but okay, what do you got for me?
You could take this, the global tokenomics, and smash it into Mandala, and you could talk about the price and the global tokenomics and what does that mean to you. I'm super excited about global tokenomics. I actually did a video way back when about universal volume, hoping that they can somehow connect a DEX and a SEX so they can have a decentralized exchange and a centralized exchange volume combined, so people in the wallet would get the same amount of reflections as the people on the exchange. I think that's great. I would love to hear your thoughts on that, as well as the price movement on Mandala with the global tokenomics. How do you feel about all that stuff?
Global tokenomics, I think, is something that some investors in SafeMoon are very confused on. They probably assumed that it was already a thing, thinking about how whenever you do these trades, there's the transaction fees. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's people that are watching this live stream right now and they're like, wait a second, what do you mean? Like, there's some instances where it's happening over here and we're not actually getting into those reflections. So the design mechanism, it gets quite complicated when you're talking about the functionality of doing something like this. When there's a transactional trade, X, Y, Z gets distributed to this individual wallet. So that's for liquidity. This is for the marketing team. That's for reflections back to the wallet holders. It's appropriated based on how much of the ownership that you have of the total supply. And then on top of that, think about the centralized exchanges. They often deal with a hot wallet and they're doing things off chain, right? So it gets very complicated with these layers, and tokenomics as a whole is something that really just started to steamroll basically at the beginning of last year. So it's a new mechanic. Not a lot of exchanges really felt that inclined to implement it, whether they felt that it was something worth of value or just the complexity of trying to integrate in those things into their current system. So the fact that Mandala is going to be rolling this out means that if you own SafeMoon on the SafeMoon wallet, for example, anything that happens natively on Mandala's side will come back and it will still benefit you on the SafeMoon wallet. Now, as far as for when they go and do this official launch, remember, guys, that they also have what's called SafeMoon Spinoff. This is an incentivized promotional activity in which people can participate that are on the exchange, and that's to help drive and increase volume. And by doing so, you now opt into a system on their exchange where you could potentially win a rewards pool. So the more activity that gets traded on Mandala means that there's a bigger pot that is there and available for rewarding users on Mandala. And even if you're not part of the Mandala ecosystem, you are technically still benefiting from that. And so I think the global tokenomics for this is the precursor to being able to lead into other centralized main exchanges such as Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, KuCoin, I mean, Gemini, the list goes on. All these big players we've been wanting to, right? You create a model, you use a testing ground such as Mandala, no offense to Mandala, but when you look at the fact that they share the Binance cloud with Binance, realistically, this rolls out, you run your tests, you make sure everything is working fine. Like, why can't you get it listed on Binance at that point in time, especially when they have such a good internal relationship with that? Now, as far as for volume goes, can I add in the little bit I wanted to say earlier because it kind of fits in with this, Tim?
Only if you say please.
Please?
Okay, you can do it.
All right. So, is Mandala available in the United States right now? It's not. I just double checked. I made sure. But when you look at the promo video just 9 hours ago, that is a minute and 16 seconds long. And it's a hype video. And it's saying we're going global, right? And they're talking about this global tokenomics for sure. But that video, the first couple seconds, it opens up with video footage of Times Square. John went to New York City fairly recently. He did not disclose what it was that he was doing. Why would Mandala go and be hosted as one of the vendors at one of these conventions back in Miami of last year in the United States if that exchange is not even available in the United States? And they talked about it back then, the likelihood that SafeMoon would get listed with Mandala, right? They're like, well, you guys heard it here. Like, it's going on Mandala. And then it just went quiet for a long time. Everything's been in the works. And if you want my personal opinion on this, I have a feeling that Mandala has been in process of being able to expand out to being able to be accessible to other countries such as the United States. And if you can open that up and you have global tokenomics with Mandala, you have this giveaway type system available as well, you very well could see a lot of users in the United States that go to opt in and participate in that network, especially because you're getting another platform where you can just get straight SafeMoon, right? That's something that so many people have been fighting for and we want to see on the decentralized side with the SafeMoon wallet. But the SafeMoon Mandala, that partnership, everything, if they do this, which is just a theory on my part, I'm not a financial advisor, right? I think that that could dramatically increase the volume. And everything we're basing on right now is only on the metrics of where they're currently available. But opening up to the entire United States, that creates a whole other set of potential people you could bring in and dramatically change the circumstances for sure.
Awesome answer. Global tokenomics on Mandala. Do you guys think it's going to open up to a lot more listings with global tokenomics? Do you think that this is just a precursor to every other listing that they're going to be having now? Because global tokenomics is something that I wanted, and I'm sure pretty much all you guys want too, and everyone that's holding SafeMoon wants. Generation Crypto, do you think that because they're getting it on Mandala, that this is going to be something that every other listing is now going to include? Is this a system that they are going to just test on Mandala and then just launch this on the rest of the exchanges from here on out? What are your thoughts on that?
Personally, I think Mandala is the guinea pig. I think that, like Atlas was saying earlier, I don't think things just went quiet or died. I think that there's been active communication between Mandala, SafeMoon, and probably several other exchanges about what they could do to make things work for both the project and the exchange. And I think Mandala was probably, and this is speculation, the most willing to try to implement and guinea pig with a system like this. I think that if Mandala is able to be successful in implementing these global tokenomics, and it makes sense and it works, and SafeMoon is able to bring a high level of volume and money into the exchange ecosystem, and it brings in monetary value, I don't see why you wouldn't see other exchanges hopping on board with that, with the platform that already exists, right? Especially someone like Binance, who is basically a subsidiary, or rather the opposite, with Mandala. Mandala is a subsidiary of Binance, essentially. They share a network. So why, if Mandala is seeing this massive increase in volume, and they're seeing price action and money coming into their system, and the tokenomics of the global tokenomics is functioning as designed, I don't see why they wouldn't want to bring SafeMoon into their ecosystem and make that work. And that goes for all the other exchanges, Gemini, Crypto.com, all of them. If they could see this working, I think it not only opens the door for SafeMoon on other exchanges, but it could open the door for other tokenomics-related projects, maybe even within our own SafeMoon ecosystem, to also get listed on these same exchanges under this same kind of design with this global tokenomics. So I think it could be a big deal, not only for SafeMoon, but for all tokenomics-based cryptocurrencies.
RJ, do you think that this is going to lead to a listing on Binance? Do you think Binance is going to eventually going to list SafeMoon now that they worked out a deal with Mandala and they got global tokenomics coming? Do you think that this is something that that Binance was scared about, or do you think they're not going to go on to Binance? They're just going to stay on Mandala?
I think eventually it will. Now, I'm a little biased towards Binance. I don't like them. I don't like them because we've been on their, we've been on top of their blockchain this whole time, and they had ample opportunities. Of course, yes, it's a much, much more complicated topic when we're talking about tokenomics. But eventually, yes, right, exchanges are in it to get theirs and get their money, get a piece of the pie. And as soon as they see Mandala working with global tokenomics and they see a working version of it, then that opens the doors to a whole bunch of other exchanges, right? Not just Binance. If crypto.com sees it, if KuCoin sees it, and they see, wow, okay, so Mandala is doing tokenomics this way. It doesn't take long for others to kind of just follow suit, and they want a piece of the pie, right? They want the exchange transaction fees and stuff like that. So it'll I think it's a good step in the right direction to start really getting the ball rolling. But eventually, yes, I think while we're still on Binance's blockchain, or when we move over to our own blockchain, Binance will eventually list us. I mean, it would just be silly for them not to.
Awesome answer. I'm just going to jump, every time we get a super chat, I'm just going to jump to it. I'm going to throw it out there to anyone. It's just going to be random. We got this super chat from DJ Go SF 415, $5 donation. Thank you so much. When the SafeMoon card comes out, should they do different tiers like crypto.com? If so, how much SafeMoon should someone have to have the highest tier? Well, Moonboy, I would ask you, but I know you can't get a crypto.com card because they won't allow that in your...
I've never had a crypto-specific card. I mean, I can give my quick perspective real quick. I think starting with that may not be... they can start with it, or they can just introduce a card and then come up with tier systems afterwards. We know there's quite a few people who are diverse with their bag size in the hundreds of thousands and millions, and some people actually do have the billions when it comes to version 2 tokens. So bringing out tier lists, when it comes to the amount of tokens you have, you'll get an additional 0.5 or 1% additional cash back or SafeMoon back, whatever the functions are with the card. I think it's a great idea. Maybe not to start with, but for sure bring it out and make sure when the cards are pink. I think it'd be cool to have a pink SafeMoon card with like a black logo.
You've been saying that you want one. Does anyone
why
else
me?
on this? Does anyone on this panel have a Crypto.com card? I think you do, RJ, right? Does anyone else have a Crypto.com card? Okay, so RJ, do you like the idea of a different tier when it comes to the card, or you think that it should be like a universal card, so there's only one level, or do you think there should be like people that are super cool can get the super cool card if they have a lot of SafeMoon?
I think it's just in our society to have different tiers. Unless you're someone like BlockFi, where it's just a one and done thing, 1.5% Bitcoin on all transactions, it could look like something like that. But if you're looking at something like crypto.com, you have their high baller black card crypto.com, right? You need to have 400,000 US dollars staked in crypto.com to even hold that black card. The next tier lower than that is 40,000 US dollars staked in Crow to hold the icy white and rose gold. Then the one below that is more obtainable. It's $4,000 US to stake to get your jade green and your royal indigo blue. And then below that is your $400 for the ruby red. I think it's always, how do I want to say this? People want tiered things, right? I think it's just in the nature of our society. They want things that are like, wow, did you see that guy has the black card? But SafeMoon can, if they follow suit like BlockFi's, where it's just one and done. Hey, you get 1.5% extra SafeMoon on every single purchase. Then it might be that case. But I think it'll be tiered. That's just my opinion, because Crypto.com has a working platform, has a working structure, and I really, really like Crypto.com. And so I'm really rooting, I truly am rooting for the SafeMoon card, because I want every reason for me to move out of Crypto.com, because as of right now, Crypto.com is my bridge from fiat to crypto. Every single time I make money on crypto, I send it over to Crypto.com, and I either top up my crypto card very easily, or I put it into my fiat bank on Crypto.com. So from my understanding, and these are just words that I've heard and rumors, is SafeMoon will want to do something like how Crypto.com does theirs, where you open a Crypto.com account and it opens a fiat bank and then a crypto wallet, right? That's how you bridge those two. That's how they get around regulation. So you can just do an ACH transfer from your bank to the Crypto.com bank and then transfer money that way. So SafeMoon can do something like that, and you get like tokenomics you get like a certain percentage back in SafeMoon on top of tokenomics. It's going to be a super, super powerful card. If you guys saw how Crypto.com's card was in the beginning, it exploded, right? At first you needed an X amount of Crow staked, then that just blew way past that. So they're like, wow, we're making so much money on this. Let's just do a finite number of US dollars to obtain these cards. And so I think SafeMoon can do something really fire like that. So I am excited. I'm very excited for the card.
Yeah, I didn't know they changed that, what you needed a certain amount of money. I was thinking if they do a tier system, maybe they do the tier system on a different card based on the size of your bag, sort of like they would do like if you were an octopus or a whale or a shark or something to that matter. I think that would be cool. You would have a different animal on your card based on how much money you have in your bag, which would allow you to get that tier of card. But that's just my idea on it. We actually do have another super chat we're going to fly into. This one is when SafeMoon nodes. Obviously, node projects are getting big, and people want to know when SafeMoon's going to do nodes. We know they are doing staking. I don't know if they're going to do nodes. Does anyone have any idea if there is going to be SafeMoon nodes?
This Loveface guy created a brand new account. I hit him already, and he created a whole new account and is spamming the chat again.
Oh man, he's a good one. He's a good one. So Crypto Atlas, do you think there's going to be SafeMoon nodes, or you think this is something that's for other projects, that this isn't something that SafeMoon's going to be doing?
Node specifically, I don't know. I do know that as far as the wind turbines go with the NFTs, that's going to have a function that kind of operates similar to what a node would be doing. But yes, with as big as nodes are progressively moving forward with, what is SafeMoon known for? What do they try and stand by as their motto? They evolve, right? As the industry continues to evolve, what do you think SafeMoon's going to do? They're going to say, hey, we're just going to go in a different direction? No. If nodes progressively continue to become a large part of the industry space, then I would not I would not expect SafeMoon to ignore that. I feel that they would try and incorporate into that to some degree. As far as for how soon in the near future and how that would completely operate, that I'm not sure. I think there's some key fundamentals that they need to get first, create that strong foundation. Then you can kind of layer things on top of that after you establish yourself. I love nodes. I've been addicted to it. Thanks, RJ. But I love nodes now personally. And I think that if you add some sort of value into the SafeMoon, I think that if you add nodes to the SafeMoon ecosystem, it very well could be a very valuable aspect for sure.
Yeah, I think node-based projects are they're addicting actually because you want to collect more. It's almost like NFTs. So if SafeMoon did do something with nodes, I think that would be spectacular because I think a lot of people would want to just collect them and just see how many they can get. What do you think about that Generation Crypto? Do you think that SafeMoon will ever do nodes, or you think they're just the tokenomic project and they're not going to get into the nodes thing, or do you think they're going to try some sort of different other system that someone hasn't seen yet?
That is a good question. When it comes to nodes and node projects, SafeMoon is building the SafeMoon Galaxy, right? So there's already other projects that they're going to incorporate that are going to be a strong part of the ecosystem that SafeMoon is building. So SafeMoon doesn't necessarily have to make SafeMoon have SafeMoon nodes, but they could incorporate a already node-based project into their ecosystem that fills that need without having to make SafeMoon that specific project, right? So for all we know, there could be projects in development, there could be projects coming out, or they're already in talks with that have some sort of aspect like that. So I would say that obviously if nodes continue to be a proven project, and so far they've done really well, if that continues to be the case, I could easily see a node project that's been vetted by the SafeMoon dev team, that is made by devs that they can trust, come into the system and play a part in the SafeMoon Galaxy. So I don't think SafeMoon necessarily has to make SafeMoon a node project, but they could easily pull in an already existing an already existing node project, and maybe that node project might even start on the SafeMoon blockchain. Maybe that project might start on another blockchain and migrate to the SafeMoon blockchain or migrate into the SafeMoon ecosystem. So you just never know. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. We got another super chat. This is from Hauntastic1. Thank you so much for your donation. Do you think SafeMoon will do another manual burn or rely on the natural system burn mechanism? That's a great question. Do I personally think they're going to do another manual burn? I don't personally think they're going to do that. I think they're just going to let it hit a number that they have set. I don't know if they're going to tell us what number they've set, but I think they may have already set a number that they're going to want to get to, because if they are going to be wanting to implement SafeMoon as a currency in other countries, they should have a nice amount of it. And I do know that they don't want the price to get too high, because they don't want it to be like $80,000 for one SafeMoon. They want it to be easily attainable by most people. That's, I feel, is the whole idea behind the SafeMoon project, is not to make a $60,000, $80,000 coin. So I don't think they're going to let the supply go too low. But I don't think they're going to do a manual burn. How about you, Moonboy? What do you think? Do you think that they're going to do a manual burn, or they'll just rely on the natural system burn mechanism?
I feel like we actually got a statement from John quite a while ago saying that they're no longer going to be doing any manual burns. They did the burn initially on launch, and thus far we've actually been burning just from tokenomics alone. And if you actually look back on what the version 1 tokenomics was versus what we have right now, on version 1, that burned wallet was a holder and it was growing. As it grew, it was going to get more reflections, increasing the amount of tokens that was going to be burned over time. Our new tokenomics is actually going to decrease the burn as the holders gain more, which is actually going to make the stopping of the burn longer. We don't know when it is, but whenever it was going to be, it's going to be way longer due to how the new tokenomics are functioning. So I don't think there's ever going to be another manual burn. I don't see the purpose of it. And I think SafeMoon specifically designed version 2 to slow down the burn, because if we have a couple events that what happened when we first initially launched and we hit the all-time highs around April, where we peaked at about, I think it was $480 million in pure volume in one day. If we sustain that for, I think it's a period of like 32 days, we'll burn the entire supply down. They want to mitigate that and stop that. So I don't think they're actually interested in tokens burning fast at all. So I don't think they would ever do a manual burn, which is why they structured tokenomics with a new design to reduce it as much as possible.
Great answer. All right, that's all the super chats that we have for right now. Now let's go back to our show. So just give me a second to fly over there. This is the wallet updates and NFTs and slippage. Are you guys excited about the updates? Does anyone actually have any NFTs that they put in the actual wallet right now just to see how it works? Because I don't actually have an NFT. I don't know if any of you guys, Atlas, you probably have some NFTs. Do you have any NFTs in your wallet right now in the SafeMoon wallet? And talk about that. And what do you think of the auto slippage behind it now? I actually went in there and checked it out. I think it's pretty cool. It automatically puts it in there for you. What do you think about all that?
So nobody judge me on this because I'm an NFT artist, but no, I don't have any NFTs of other people's stuff in my wallet currently, but I do make NFTs. And so other people out there may have one of my pieces done. But I did cover this when it came out. And in fact, I showcased other people's NFT arts that they shared on social media because I just think generally it's a great thing. The reality is, look at the industry space for NFTs and how much it's progressively grown over the last year, 2 years, right? You have big name celebrities who are participating in this. You're seeing an NFT that's selling as art, just a visual, for millions of dollars. There's a lot of money that's in play, but how NFTs actually operate outside of just being a visual art, that is continuously moving forward. And that's what SafeMoon as a company is looking to be a participant in, especially when we talk about the wind turbines as the starting point. They've hinted at the fact that they would be considering other things like solar energy, for example, and potentially they could delve off into other things that operates in both the real world and in the metaverse. So NFTs is going to be a core component of the SafeMoon ecosystem as it evolves over the years. I understand the concern that people have about today, right now. They look at the price, they see the action, they get concerned about how much they put in. When is it ever going to happen? They're thinking about other plays. Should they take out of this? That kind of a thing, right? What I'm saying is that I'm not investing in today. I'm investing in a year and a half from now, 2 years from now. Where is this projection going to be taking us? And SafeMoon, I think, is laying out the foundation very well to say not where we are today, but where we will be and how can we play a role in that ecosystem. And it doesn't happen just like this. So them integrating in this first feature is one progressive step forward towards a bigger picture. We got to remember that. The fact that you can see these things there, it's in the wallet. It's tangible, right? We can actually open up our wallets and see it for ourselves. The next step is having that support with the actual different NFT platforms and being able to buy and trade those things through there. And then how that continues to move the next steps, we'll see. But they made a step forward. We have to acknowledge that. Some people may not think it's a big step, but it is a step forward and it's a necessity for the next things to come.
Wow, awesome answer. Does anyone have any NFTs in the actual SafeMoon wallet right now? Any of you guys have any NFTs in there yet? I know the update is new, and I don't know if anyone transferred anything over there yet, but does anyone have anything in their wallet? Has anyone tried it out?
I do not. I have several NFTs in OpenSea, and I even toggled the tab on ERC20, and I don't see anything in there. So I'd be interested to see if anyone has been able to successfully view their NFT in there.
Interesting. Okay, auto slippage. What do you think of that, Generation Crypto? Do you think it's a useful feature? Do you like it? Have you used it yet?
Yes, and yes. So I have used it. It is a great feature. I really like it. My wallet that is connected to there does not have any NFTs, so I don't have any NFTs in my SafeMoon wallet because the NFTs that I do have are in other wallets on cold storage and other things. So I wasn't able to test that feature personally. However, yeah, I love the auto slippage. I think it really helps people who are maybe new to projects. I think slippage has been a pain point for a lot of people trying to figure out what it needs to be to get in because every project has a different slippage tolerance that they need to adjust for. So I think it's a great feature. And like I've said before, I just made a video about SafeMoon on Monday, or rather Sunday, and I talked about it then. SafeMoon does a really good job of making sure their products make sense for the beginner person. They've like really done a really good job of being like, hey, I'm new to SafeMoon. How is this going to be for me? And so features like an auto slippage adjustment is great because these people are going to not have to worry about, oh crap, this project is this slippage and that project is that slippage. It can be a really big pain point and turnoff for a lot of people trying to figure those out that just want to buy a project or a product that they want. So having that as a feature is just another testament to them thinking about the individual holders who may not be as well versed as the crypto veterans.
Awesome answer. Joe, welcome to the show. What do you know? He made it.
Yeah.
Well, does Joe have any NFTs in his SafeMoon wallet now? Have you tried out that feature, and what do you think of it? And are you excited about auto slippage?
Yeah, so I don't have any NFTs in my wallet at the moment. I just got one today, actually, but it's not in the wallet yet. I think it's on the Polygon. So I'm just waiting for that to be updated with SafeMoon. I think NFTs are great. I think it's great to see that SafeMoon's finally giving us the module and getting us ready for providing some more NFTs, because I think that's going to be a whole different beast. I mean, it's something that's relatively gained popularity, and I think as time goes on, it's going to gain more popularity, especially people like, I mean, within SafeMoon, they're trying to find like a real use, as well as just having the NFT itself, which I think is cool. It adds a new duality to it. As far as auto slippage, I think this is once again another big deal, because if you can make it easier for everyone to do, and everyone can do it, then no one's going to know what's happening. Eventually, people are going to be buying crypto without slippage. I mean, without even looking at slippage. Slippage is going to be happening, but it's not going to be a factor anymore. So it's going to be happening, but they're going to buy it and not realize it. And I mean, I talked about this not long ago. So think about when we all first bought SafeMoon. I'm not sure how long it took for you fellas, but it was long and it was stressful. And it was exciting when you finally got it and you saw it, you're like, oh, that's done. Because it was a pain. But with slippage, it makes the process easier. And I think the overall goal for crypto, especially SafeMoon, is you want to have it situated where people can buy it easily and not really know they're going through a ton of processes that we ultimately had to go through. So I think it's great altogether.
Awesome. Okay, well, now on to the next topic is, what is your favorite project on Swap by SafeMoon? We'll go through all of these. Obviously, we saw some ones that were listed on SafeMoon Sunday. They were talking about 2 projects on there. I'm just going to start off with mine. I really like Affinity a lot. I really like the people behind it. I like the rewards with a Cardano and BUSD. I really like that about the project itself. I like that you could stake with it already. I think that's kind of cool. So I'm really excited about Affinity. That's a project that I really like on there. I know that they have a couple other projects on there, but that's the only one that I got so far off the swap. I don't know where you other guys stand with projects that you got off the swap. Let's see here. RJ, what is one of your favorite projects on Swap by SafeMoon right now?
I really like Beefy Finance. That's an OG one of them. It was one of their first. I like Beefy because I use Beefy Finance. It is the farm that I use to auto compound some LP pairs that I have in there, and they make it very, very easy. So I really like Beefy, and if you guys take a look at what Beefy's token is, they're pretty expensive. So I like Beefy.
Awesome. How about you, Atlas? What is your favorite Swap by SafeMoon project?
Well, I'm going to answer that. But first off, I got to do a little segue section right here, because last roundtable, people were talking to you about your wig, right? We got Joe that's up in the house right now. I don't know if anyone remembers this, but I said, hey, next time I'm going to lay down a challenge gauntlet for you, right? So I'm going to bust out a wig just to show you that I got the wigs going on too, Tim. All right, you ready for this, dude?
You do actually have a wig?
Why would you have a wig?
I don't know. I don't own a wig. Oh man. Wow. That is actually,
I love
you know what?
that.
Probably
That's
when
the
I'm
best wig I've
90,
ever
my
seen.
actual hair will look like that. It's getting to that
I
point.
just gotta say that hair was over 10,000. I'll just say that.
For sure.
I think that's the most exercise that I've had in the last 3 months.
That was pretty epic, dude. I think I got hit by your energy ball that you just shot at the screen. So
I'm gonna need a nap after this.
I mean, I tried dodging it, but I just let it hit me right in the face. What am I gonna do?
I had to slip that in there. But no, to answer your question, I actually agree with you, Tim. I actually really like Affinity. I did meet up. I didn't really talk about this a lot, but I met up in person with one of the people from their team here in Los Angeles. So it was a convenient thing. We didn't live too far away. And I sat down. I had a good conversation with him for about an hour and a half. And so like you said, I really like the fact that with Affinity, I'm all out of breath right now, sorry, that you can get rewarded both Cardano as well as with the, it was BUSD was the other one, right? So you get a stable coin, and you got another one that's a little bit more flexible. They have a staking-based mechanic, and they've also been working on something that's basically along the lines of what SafeMoon Connect is, to where if you want to be able to send these cryptos over to other individuals, they've been developing that on the back end. So as a company, very nice people. I feel that what they're doing with their project, the staking mechanics, you can harvest off of it. I've been noticing with some other projects having similar base mechanics. I really like that. If I had to choose a secondary one, though, as a backup, I would go with Chainlink. And I really like Chainlink because of its history. They've been doing a lot of partnerships with a lot of other crypto projects. They're currently number 22 from what I saw earlier today when I made my video about that. And so bringing in a big player like that, I think is definitely going to help, especially because of who they have as connections. And in business, it's not about who you know. It's about who you know, who they know.
Awesome. How about you, Moonboy? What's your favorite project on Swap by SafeMoon?
Affinity. So I actually did an interview with the CMO, and I actually was not bullish on Affinity. I saw Affinity during the pre-sale, and I discovered it through a friend. At the time, it was reflecting in 2 tokens that reflected into SafeMoon. I'm not going to name those tokens, but at the time I was hunting for these new tokens that reflected in SafeMoon, and that came on the radar. But I actually didn't like it. I didn't like the first AMA I hopped into. They were kind of playing music and almost partying a little bit, which in hindsight they're probably just hype about the launch. But I was expecting news, and I was expecting them to talk a little bit about what's up and coming. But months later, I went back and looked at it. Redesigned website. Team was completely doxed. New team members were added. Professional layout. They changed their reflections to, like you said, ADA and BUSD. It definitely changed my perspective. And they had a use case with their whole, essentially wanting to be almost the PayPal of crypto, which they actually have a patent on as well. Not a lot of cryptos go and try to patent their ideas. So if anyone ever wants to, use that whole, instead of a whole wallet address, an address, you would have to essentially just redesign that and make a name. So instead of me sending it to 0x752011, I'll send it to Tim. And that is patent. They have the right for that. And I'd imagine if other people want to use that, they have to license that technology legally through Affinity. So the ideas of what they're creating, and just hearing what the team has to say, hearing how they speak and how transparent they are. They're not shying away from questions. They're not avoiding FUD. They're not blocking people. They're taking everything, the good and the bad. They're trying to address everything. And if you hop in Telegram, like I said, they are very transparent, very, very active. So that's what I like to see. I like to see people who are involved, who are actually in the back end on the team, doing the development work, that are actually in the community, talking, interacting, just like one of the holders. So for me, it's Affinity all the way. Use case, transparency, the team overall, the transformation they've had from my first initial, findings of them versus where they are right now, very impressive. I just love how they've transformed themselves and evolved and evolved and evolved. Whenever there's a sticking point, for example, there's a period where all these safe name coins were, said that they were trying to ride the back of SafeMoon. They changed it. They're just now Affinity. They've always evolved and adapt, which is the name of their system, the adapt system, to where you can essentially, transact and send people cryptocurrency with just their name. So it has to be Affinity for me. Next to Chainlink. I think Chainlink is a very undervalued project, and it does have a lot of utility in the future. I know they haven't moved in price, but development is there, and what they're trying to do with their foundation of being an oracle is incredible when it comes to blockchain and transactions as well. So Affinity first, and then Chainlink next.
Wow, great answer. How about you, SafeMoon Joe? What does SafeMoon Joe know about the Swap by SafeMoon, and what's his favorite project?
P SafeMoon.
P SafeMoon.
No. Listen, I think everyone's waiting for P SafeMoon to go to V2, and that question's probably asked to all of us every single day. Is when V2?
Yeah.
Ultimately, hopefully that would happen. As far as like my favorite swap by SafeMoon, I'll be honest. I think they're all great, and I think what they do is all great, and I think that because I talked to some of the people from the communities and whatnot that that are part of these, and I think they all have great goals. Some of them are goals that connect with SafeMoon. Some of the goals is just going, we're doing our own thing, and some of them have had that hype and die down and now is stable, and some of them just have a hype period. So it's really hard to gauge which one you like over another one, because they're all doing something cool and unique, and they're all growing. And I'm gonna be insanely lazy, I'll be honest. Whatever one burns more SafeMoon, SafeMoon Swap is my favorite one. So whoever's the winner is my favorite one. I'm straight up 100%. but all these are really great. Recently, I'm still learning about Rhythm. They reached out to me. I gotta learn about them. Evergrow, I've been watching Evergrow. I got caught. I had Evergrow on my Safemoon Wallet like a while ago, and I did a video talking about something safe, and someone stole it, and I got caught by that. But I think Evergrow, I mean, to see what they've been through is great. Like, it's really hard. They're saying choose your favorite children out of these 5, and we're killing the other 4, and you're like, damn. But like I said, I think they're all great. Infinity's blew me away. Like, I was a little bit nervous talking to them, but I was really shocked about how much they put into this project. It's not just anymore like you see old projects. They're like, oh yeah, our goal is to give you more SafeMoon. Aren't we great? It's like, okay, but what do you do? Why not just buy more SafeMoon? Like, what? Like, these projects are not doing that anymore. Now they're saying, hey, listen, our goal might have to do with SafeMoon, some of them, or BUSD, whatever. But we're also expanding on it. I think that's something that a lot of these projects are doing great. So it's really hard to choose just one. But like I said, I'm going to be insanely lazy and choose whatever burns the most for SafeMoon. Because whatever one does that, I hope the other projects do that as well. Mimic that, copy that, let's burn more for SafeMoon. And hopefully all these projects do good as well. So yeah.
So Joe, you're saying your favorite token is SafeMoon? Because SafeMoon's going to burn more
SafeMoon. SafeMoon's on the swap too, man.
Ultimately, SafeMoon.
I heard that
it's not on V2. It's not on V2. But
I heard the V2 version of SafeMoon is going to be SafeMoon, but that was a terrible joke. Come on, guys.
This guy.
Generation Crypto, did you answer this question? I don't think you did. What is
No,
your
I
favorite
didn't.
project on swap by SafeMoon? Don't say SafeMoon.
I won't. I'll just say SafeMoon is my favorite token on the SafeMoon swap.
Oh, that's a good one.
Honestly,
Besides
it is, though.
SafeMoon.
Like, obviously, besides SafeMoon, probably BUSD. I'm just
Okay.
kidding again.
That's another good one.
No, realistically, though, with all the joking aside, I would say Affinity. I met the dev team at Cryptopia. I had a good time with them. And I really like what they're working on. I really like what they're trying to work on with their swap feature, where you'll basically be able to send somebody whatever crypto that you have, and they can receive that in whatever crypto they want to receive it in. I think that's really cool. And I love how they're trying to make that seamless and easy to use. And I like a lot of the other stuff that, everyone else has mentioned as well as to what they're working on with their staking and everything else that they're doing with Affinity. So really love their development team. I love what they're doing. I love how they've come into the space and how they interact with the community. And I love the vision their project is taking. So I would say, obviously, other than SafeMoon, Affinity would probably be my favorite on the swap. But all the other ones are great as well. So it's not like I don't like the other ones. It's just if I had to pick, that's what I choose.
Wow, that's really interesting. It seems Affinity got a lot of action. Enhance is also on there. Not too many people mentioned Enhance. I thought we'd all have a bunch of different projects. Obviously, RJ was for Beefy Finance, which was different. But everyone seems to like Affinity a lot. So that's actually pretty cool to see that.
Can I say one thing about Affinity, though? I will
Sure.
say this, and it adds a level of trust that's not front end. It's if you get a team and it's with veterans, like actual veterans,
Right.
Like especially here in the States, we don't it just adds such a huge level of trust because that's you trust those guys because if they're there to they're veterans, they fought for this country, they're pretty trustworthy guys immediately. Like, respect is immediately gained, and I think a lot of these cryptos are trying to gain respect as fast as possible. And I'm not saying your job is to always hire veterans, but like with Affinity, I'll give you a great example. Majority of them are veterans and have different branches, which is insane because normally that doesn't work, but it does. and I think the more you have of people that have servicemen, the more you're gonna say, okay, I trust these people more because there's no way they're there's no way they're doing anything, whatever. They at least have that level of trust. So I think that's something I really do appreciate a lot. And I see that with Affinity. And it's not to say the other projects are bad. Like I said, Evergrow's great. I think Evergrow, the team, they came out right off the gate and they were doing great. And they took a lot of heat for it. So I think Evergrow would definitely up there as well with me. But I definitely think that level of trust right there is immediate when you see something like Affinity.
Awesome. All right, so here's another one, another wallet update. Do you guys want new networks on it? So right now we have the Ethereum network, we have the BSC network. Are there any networks that you want to be able to add? Do you think there should be a custom add of networks? Do you want to see, Algorand on there? Do you want to see Bitcoin on there? Do you want to see Avalanche on there? RJ, let me get your question, your answer for this one. What do you think a new network's being added to the wallet as an update?
Yeah, no, that'd be absolutely fire if they added a functionality to add new networks like MetaMask, right? All you need to do is add your custom RPC. I would love to see Avalanche on there. I would love to see Phantom on there. And that would be, that's just another step closer to the whole one-stop shop thing. That way, now when you toggle between networks like you can on MetaMask, where you go into the Polygon or Chronos or Phantom, it's all in the SafeMoon. Look at this guy right here. Let me ban this guy in chat.
Hold on, wait a
Webcams.
minute. Hot girls and boys, both of them.
Wow.
This guy
And
is
it's like a knife.
relentless.
Wow.
Relentless.
Bold ad.
But yeah, sorry. But yeah, to keep my answer short, I would love to see that functionality. And me coming from a tech side of things, I don't think that is difficult to add to support new RPC, custom RPCs to add different networks. I would love to see Phantom on there. Phantom is absolutely one of my favorite networks and chains. They have some really cool projects on there, but the ability to add that on the Safemoon wallet would make it super fire.
Awesome. How about you, Atlas? I know that you like different networks as well. Would you like to see a new network addition added to an update on the SafeMoon wallet?
Yeah, I think it would be a nice, simple little thing. You got the drop-down option already, where you could swap between ERC and the Binance Smart Chain side as well. So if you had the ability to add custom ones, like RJ had mentioned with MetaMask, it would allow for a lot more opportunities, especially when we have SafeMoon Wallet now working alongside Wallet Connect. Think about how many different platforms that have Wallet Connect but don't operate for itself on Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain. It's on something else. And as I noted earlier inside of this chat, I'm addicted to nodes now. I really, really like it. And as I've been researching projects, I'm noticing a trend. A lot of these are starting to work on Avalanche. So I only, as of recently, started participating on the Avalanche mainnet, and I really like it. The fees, everything else that's being designed with it. So if I had to choose, only one new one to be added, me personally, I would want to go with Avalanche. But I think more realistically, they should just add in the ability so that you can add in any of these mainnets.
Yeah.
Atlas, quick quiz question. So Binance uses BSC scan, Ethereum uses Etherscan. What scan is Avalanche?
I've been using Trader XYZ to do the trades, and then there's this other weird named one that Generation has mentioned before. It's like Snowball or something weird. I can't remember the name of that.
Close.
I heard
Snow
it a couple
Trace.
times.
Yes,
Snow
no
Trace?
trace.
Oh yeah, see, like I kept getting close with it, and I'm like, always forget it.
It's all good. I love DeFi. Go ahead.
I don't get the points though. It doesn't count. Gotta get the exact name.
Yeah, so this is something that I really want for the wallet, because I think it would be really cool if they added this to the wallet, but then they also added it to the swap. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of tokens on Avalanche, there's a lot of tokens on these other chains and these other networks that I think would also add to the whole cross-chain of the swap by SafeMoon, and also add a lot more tokens, which would add a lot more volume. And I don't know if there is one place right now where you can go to have your Avalanche, to have your Ethereum, to have your BSC. I don't know if there is a place that does it all. And I think that would be cool if they took all the chains and they added you had the ability to add it not only to the wallet as a network, but able to add it to the swap as a token exchange as well. But obviously that would take more time, because if they're going through and they're trying to vet all these projects, it's going to be a lot harder. So it'll take a lot more time. But this could be something where they could generate a lot more revenue, because it does cost money for places to apply to get on the swap itself. So that brings me to the next question.
Do you mind if I touch on that really quick?
Oh yeah, go right ahead. Let's go back to it.
I just want to say, I think it'd be really cool, like we talked about, the drop down and being able to switch networks, but it would be cool as we add projects in, like you said, we vet, maybe there's an AVAX project. We bring in the AVAX chain, vet that project, and not only can you have that chain there, but you can obviously use the swap, because it would be pointless to put it in the exchange and then you can't use the swap on that blockchain, right? Like that wouldn't work really well. So being able to bring in those projects from those chains and then utilize the swap for those vetted projects, I think would be super cool. So that you could literally have one, like we said, one-stop place. You go in, you can get a list of all these different projects and on all these different exchanges and blockchains. And as a multi-swap, hey, you know what? I've got this project on AVAX and I want to go into Affinity. Bam! I just go ahead and put, that project in as from, and then 2, I put in Affinity, and I've got more Affinity, and it was taken directly from the other project, and I don't have to worry about switching it over to AVAX, and then AVAX over to BNB, and then BNB back over to Affinity, or SafeMoon or whatever, right? I can do all of that in one SafeMoon location, one SafeMoon swap location, and it does all of it for us, and it's just one swap. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. So SafeMoon guys, if you're watching, I don't know if you are, but if you there's a little maybe an update you can go work, you could start working on.
Yeah,
all right, so
also I just want to point as well. Sorry about
all
that.
right, let's all go
So-
for it. Yeah, go for it.
So I actually don't interact with the SafeMoon wallet at all. I'm actually very fearful of getting hacked. I feel like the SafeMoon wallet has done very good when it comes to security, all the features in place to access your wallet. But for me, my main SafeMoon holding is on my wallet. I'm not going to connect it or interact with it at all. If I want to go ahead and add other networks and connect to that, I'm going to create another SafeMoon wallet separate from my main SafeMoon bag. So I'm very fearful when it comes to, like I said, hacks, and I know a lot of people have lost their SafeMoon interacting with certain dApps, and kind of just doing things when people message them and they accidentally give information that allows people access to their wallet. So my wallet is off my device, not on my phone. It is away. I'm not looking at it. I have not updated. I don't know what's going on over there. It's going to chill, and I probably should download another one for other transactions and other tokens. But for me, I have not interacted with the wallet in weeks, and it's just for security purposes. And I feel like I'm the only one. I mean, I feel like I may be missing out with the cool features, but yes, that's completely different than the actual point. I think the networks would be incredible.
Awesome. All right, Joe, this is for you. Where did the motorcycle go? What do you know? It's gone. Where'd it go, Joe?
So that thing's a pain to get in the house and out of the house. The first time I did it, I fell like 3 or 4 times. Luckily, there's like cement and there's dirt in the side of my whatever. So I just fell with it on the dirt like 8 times, and it was really tiring. And my wife helped me bring it in the house. And the reason I had it in the house wasn't really to show off. A lot of people were like, "Oh, you're showing off." No, I just wanted to work on it, and it's like freezing cold outside. I just don't want to freeze. So I was working on it, and then we had a nice day, and I grabbed that bad boy outside and I rode around with it. Now it's in my garage. Eventually, I'm going to be working on it again. I might have it in the house again in the future, but it's not really to show off, even though like I was showing with the LEDs. It's mostly just because I like to work on it. I don't like to freeze. It's that simple. But it's still around. I'm still riding it. Actually, I was working on my helmet earlier today, adding like some like the headphones as a wire for like a GoPro and stuff like that. So like I'm doing things, just nerdy things.
You don't have a SafeMoon sticker on your helmet, bro? What are you doing? Where's this?
That's what I was.
What's going on here, Joe?
I got a zombie theme, but evidently you can wrap these things. I didn't know about that. I didn't know what wraps were for like whatever. So I might just keep this whatever, and I might they have what's called like a showy helmet, which is like a really good helmet. I want to get a showy helmet. I want to wrap it in like anime, and then I want to have like, so there's a character called it's like anime character in One Piece, and I want to get him his eyes to do the SafeMoon eyes. And I want to get like the logo with it, but have it like animate. So like it's conversation starter as well. So that's something I was thinking about talking to my buddy about as well. But
So Joe, which character are you talking about? Are you talking about Luffy, Sanji,
Roanoa Zoro?
It better be Zoro. I was gonna
There you
say
It has to be.
if it's not
Oh,
Zoro,
man.
I was gonna hop off of this.
Before the memes with Zoro, because I didn't know. Like, I just found out like a ton of memes.
Zoro's
I
the
just
best
like
character.
I like his character. I like the character of Zoro because like he doesn't need a devil fruit power. He's like, oh, okay, you have it. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna fight you with it. He does nothing else special. He's the same everything, but he's gonna fight you. He doesn't care. He's like, oh, you have powers? All right, cool. Let's go. Let's fight. I don't care. I don't have any, but whatever.
It's incredible.
He's like the only character that has like I don't care energy. What was it? I saw it not long ago because I'm up to episode 130. I saw him was fighting one of the 7 warlords, and the guy was broken, powerful. He cut his ship in half. He was like, "Yeah, I'll fight that guy." I was like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, chill. Like I cut his ship in half."
Did you just say that you're on episode 130?
130.
Oh my gosh! Well,
I don't know
have
what
fun
you
for the
guys are
next 6
saying. It
months,
doesn't even
dude.
sound like English.
6 months
love
coming
it.
up.
I
Tim,
love
What's
it.
up?
this guy fights with a sword in his mouth. He has
In
2
his mouth.
swords he holds, right? But a third one is in his mouth. He just bites it and just chop people. It's incredible. You got to watch it. If you don't watch the anime, watch a clip on YouTube. Zoro, he's like 3 chopping you with a sword. It's incredible, man. It's cool. That alone, I love the character.
Well,
I
now
just like how everyone's doing whatever, and he just gives off I don't care vibes unless there's another guy he can fight. He's like, okay, cool, I got this. Everyone leave me alone. I want to do this, and he goes back to like I don't care. Like I just like that kind of character,
wow, he should ride your motorcycle. Maybe that's
Me
where
and
his
him are gonna
motorcycle-
ride together. Me and
There you
Zoro.
go. Well, there you go, the great Gooch. Now you know where Joe's motorcycle is, and I guess he has another question for everybody. Is your wife making ragu right now?
No, she's. I mean, it's 10 o'clock, so she's probably with the babies. But yeah, no, she did it already.
Oh, do you guys eat ragu? What is ragu? Is that like sauce or?
It's like a pasta sauce, yeah.
Okay,
It's not
there
bad.
you
You
go.
get the ones like the meat sauce.
How do you
Oh, okay.
make ragu? Like you just
You don't.
Heat
You
it
just
up?
like well, you boil it. Yeah, you boil it.
Yeah,
You
you
put
just-
it on.
Heat
Yeah.
it up.
like
Just
I'm
throw it in
making
there.
It's not like
boiled
it's like saying,
water,
it's like
you
saying
know?
does your wife boil water? Sure. Yeah. Okay.
All right, another one from the great Gooch. Joe, can we meet your wife?
No. Why would you know?
Yeah.
She hates being in front of the camera. Number one. Number two. She's not like into crypto like I am at all. She's burnt on it, obviously. And number three. No. Like I'm not showing you my wife.
These guys, they're relentless. They want to see your wife. They want to know where your motorcycle is, and they want you to eat ragu.
Gooch. Gooch is like gonna be a biographer for all of us eventually. I feel like 20 years from now he's gonna have books and he's like I knew everything about these guys. Trust me.
All right, now this next subject topic could be a little spicy for some people, but basically there are a ton of projects out there on BSC, right? And Ether. There's a bunch of tokens out there. Are there projects that you hope get listed on SafeMoon Swap? I'm going to start off with Crypto Atlas with this one. Are there projects that you hope that get listed on SafeMoon Swap?
There's a lot. I mean, I cover a lot of different topics on my channel. My name's not SafeMoon anything, so if you look at my history, I've talked about other projects. Most noteworthy for me personally, I would put at the very top of the list Drip Network. And I know that might be controversial for some people, but I've done my research. I encourage people to go do their own research. I think the developer behind the project, with 6 years of experience and the projects that he's entailed, could not only be beneficial to more people, but I think it could be very beneficial to the SafeMoon ecosystem and being able to bridge those two different environments together. So I would put Drip Network itself at the top and the projects that Forex Shark has developed. And then number two, if I pick another one, I'm only going to pick two because obviously there's a lot more that I would like to talk about. I would say Crypto Token. Crypto Token rewards in BUSD, similar to what Evergrow does. Crypto Token also is developing a community-based NFT fighting game. So SafeMoon is playing a role with their game. And I've talked about this a lot on my channel. So essentially, you would need to own Cryptor's native token Crypt plus the token of the character that you're going to play as in that fighting game. So if you want to play as a SafeMoon character, you got to own Crypt and SafeMoon. If you want to play as the Shiba Inu character, you need to own Crypt and Shiba Inu. And it's a nice competitive thing. They've been doing a lot of update posts for the graphic artwork, conceptual-wise, then the 3D modeling. They're looking to get involved in the NFT space. They have a social media platform similar to Facebook, and they actually reward in Crypto Token when you participate on that. But just, that project alone that helps towards the SafeMoon community and bridging the communities together as a whole and making it fun, I think that's a really cool idea. So I would go with those two. I have others that I would love to say, but I just picked those two.
Yeah, I'll answer this one myself. I like projects that have a lot of popularity to them that bring in a lot of volume. So I think anything that's on BSC Scan or Ethereum that has that is what I would like to see listed on the SafeMoon Swap. Also, Baby Doge. I always see a ton of advertising for it. I think that's on BSC Scan. Is that on BSC Scan, guys? Do you know if that's on Binance Smart Chain?
It's on both BSC Scan and Ethereum.
Okay, so I think that might be a cool project to have listed on there because I see a ton of advertising for that. I don't know the volume on it, but I'm assuming because it has so much advertising and it's always in these silly polls that people are posting on Twitter. So you know what? At that point, why don't we make it part of the ecosystem? Baby Doge people, if you're out there, look into getting yourself listed on the SafeMoon Swap because that's the place where all the cool kids are hanging out. Generation, do you have any projects that you would like to see on the SafeMoon Swap?
I was muted. Yes, there is. So you guys have both you and Tim, both Tim and Atlas made great points on projects that would be great assets to the SafeMoon Swap. But one of the ones I think, just to not say the same tokens over and over again, to add on that's already in the wallet but that's not on the swap is AquaGoat Finance. So I've done a lot of work with them in the past. I've covered their project quite extensively on my channel. They do a lot of good stuff because they're all about ocean conservation as a charity token, and I think that's an awesome cause. And so they're already listed as in the wallet. They were there with the initial launch of the wallet. So I'd love to see them added on as also a token to be swapped on their swap as well. So that's a token that's already been vetted by the team that's already on the wallet. So I'd love to see them take that next step and be added on to the swap.
Awesome. I actually like AquaGoat as well. I think that would make it a great addition to the swap by SafeMoon. RJ, are there any projects out there that you would like to see listed on swap? Anything that you think would be exciting to and would drive up the volume for the swap itself?
Yeah, I would love to see, not on the BSC side, but on the Ethereum side, I would love to see Strong in that swap feature. Because if anyone knows anything about Strong, I've released some videos on it. It is on the Ethereum network. And if you want to get Strong, right now you have to purchase Ethereum and then go to their Uniswap and then swap it and pay, like, depending on Gwei, $70 to $80 just to swap it for Strong if you're at a peak time in the Ethereum gas fees. So it's ridiculous. So a cheaper way to do it right now is to go through KuCoin. KuCoin, actually, you can purchase Strong straight up, and then you'll just pay I think it's like a $40 or $50 fee to transfer it to your MetaMask wallet or whatever wallet you use. So if SafeMoon can put Strong on the Ethereum side of things, on their SafeMoon swap, on their DEX, and I can trade it, I think that would be fire for sure.
Yeah, I heard of that project before. It seems to be pretty popular. I think that would probably be a pretty popular one for them. How about you, Mean Boy? Mean Boy. I just called you Mean Boy.
Yeah,
Moon Boy.
Moon boy.
Are there any projects that you would like to see listed on the Swap by SafeMoon on either side, or even on a network that they haven't yet added to the SafeMoon wallet? Because right now we want them to add more networks rather than just Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. It would be cool if they added Avalanche or Algorand or something to that nature. Is there anything that you would like to see them add to the Swap by SafeMoon?
I'm ready to see the comments in the chat about Mean Boy, so let's get that.
All right, Mean Boy.
Going with the Mean Boy. I see a couple people already saying it. M content. Now, I love this project. It is essentially wanting to be the Hollywood of crypto. They've come up with 2 crypto documentaries. One was about El Salvador when they actually first made Bitcoin legal tender. It's a full-fledged documentary, very professional. A lot of people they interviewed and a lot of people that they went into when it comes to getting opinions. They're coming out with another documentary where they interview people like BitBoy and a couple of people for that specific documentary that goes a little deeper into crypto and bull run. So they are a Hollywood production type of company that's focusing on documentary style, which I think, Tim, you can actually probably appreciate that a little bit. The CEO's docs. He was actually a keynote speaker for some crypto event in Dubai last year, and he gave the whole entire rundown of what M content content was, how it came about, what the future of the token wants to be, and like I say, they want to bring documentary style creation to the blockchain, and they want to figure out a way how they can actually fund other projects by assisting with funding through, I guess, their treasury or whatever they're trying to build. So it's a platform to where, let's say if someone wants to have their movie created and, Netflix and all these other companies are saying no to them, they're going to go to M Content. They'll bring the funding, they will help the production, and they'll essentially bring that movie idea or the documentary idea to the market. Absolutely incredible. I love movies. I love documentaries. I love TV shows. This is the first crypto I've seen that has that idea, that concept. And we know when cryptos are the first in a specific sector, that one tends to be the leader in that sector. Ethereum with smart contracts, Bitcoin with store of value, Dogecoin with the meme coins, M content for me, if that get listed on SafeMoon for one, great project, Doc's team, incredible use case, actually helping smaller smaller people who actually can get funding from these bigger productions in Hollywood, which is actually great when it comes to giving people their vision, so they can actually, produce whatever the movie piece they, want. I just think it's overall incredible what they're trying to do there. So I love M content, and I feel that would just be a great one when it comes to a cool partnership and a cool listing.
How about you, SafeMoon Joe? Are there any projects you hope get listed on Swap by SafeMoon? I mean, I see some people are asking for Bitcoin, some people are asking for Doge. Are they not on there yet? I didn't even check. I don't even think they're on there, are they?
No, they're on an unsupported network.
Oh, okay, that's right. So are there any projects or networks that you want to see listed on Swap by SafeMoon?
Saitama was one I've been talking about for a while. I like the team. I've been following them, just looking into what they're doing. Nothing too crazy, just trying to understand where they're going. They had their own version of like what we went through with SafeMoon, where it had crazy high, and then they had some controversy, recent FUD, stuff like that. So I feel like what we went through with here on on BSC, they went through on ERC because they're Ethereum. They're on Ethereum. With the products they said they were going to come out, and then it didn't come out, it got delayed. So I look at that time and I go, what's happening to them has happened to us. It's just they're on a different like alternate universe, but that's basically what it is, as far as that. So I would love to see Tama with SafeMoon and together because they have their own. I believe it's called Side of Mass. I'm not sure it's fully out. Yeah, I know they had some issues with that, but it'd be great to see SafeMoon on that and then SafeMoon on the SafeMoon wallet because it'd be a cool partnership. We all have our own thing, but we're still united together. And I love to see that. Of course, Drip. I'm gonna say it. I know, people are gonna get mad. They're gonna go talk smack. They're gonna go to the little corners and be little haters. But I like Drip. I think Drip's great. And whether or not people see it today or see whatever, the fact that let's make it known because maybe it eventually gets on SafeMoon Swap. It's gonna be really hard to fudge something on SafeMoon Swap. That's what I'm going to say. And if Drip was to get on SafeMoon Swap, I think Forex Shark, if he was to talk with some of the SafeMoon Dev, SafeMoon Hound, or the recent hires, I think it'd be great to see that kind of duality between them and see what each one can bring to the table. Because I think Forex and I think SafeMoon Hound, John, I forgot the name of the guy who just the guy who recently got it, but I would love to see them all sit down and talk because these are legit guys that are working on changing things and growing, and they each have a way to evolve the crypto community in their own way. So why not get two innovators together and see what could be done? So I would love to see that happen. Once again, those are my two big ones. It's like Hitama and Drip, so those are ones I'm really excited about. But you guys said a lot of great ones. It's funny, someone mentioned M Content to me today. They said, "Hey man, check it out," and then maybe like 3 or 4. I was like, I used to go, yeah, I'll check it out and I'll try to. But I'm always looking at some other stuff. And then a couple of days ago, someone also said, hey, check out M Content. And a little while ago, maybe a couple hours ago, they go, hey, have you checked it out yet? So I always like that. I always like that. Whenever you hear something from the fellas, it's great to see other people saying, hey, you want to check it out as well. And I kind of like that. And that kind of puts a bit of asterisk on it, saying, hey, you really want to look into this? So that's something I'm definitely gonna look into more. But yeah, I mean, those are the things I'm really excited about and love to see on the SafeMoon Swap.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I think a lot of projects out there could. I'm not sure if SafeMoon reaches out to anybody or if they just wait for people to reach out for them. But I think it would be cool to see a bunch of all these other projects listed on there. I think the more projects that are on there, the more volume you get, the more reflections we get, the more money is added to the LP pool. Do you have something to say, Crypto Atlas? Unless you just like waving at me.
No. Just to lightly touch on it, so everyone in the community knows, I had done an interview previously with Forex Shark, the developer for Drip Network, Animal Farm, R34P or Reap, and in the discussion with him, I brought up on the live stream. I said, "Have you considered looking and going into SafeMoon Swap for your projects?" And he said that he hasn't looked into it yet, but he's open to talking with the development team for SafeMoon. I just emailed the email through the website. It was either yesterday or the day before for SafeMoon, kind of bringing up that topic. And all I'm trying to do right now is allowing them to talk. If they talk, the SafeMoon team likes what they hear or vice versa, or they brainstorm ideas, then it is what it is. All I'm trying to do right now is just create an opportunity where they can open the conversation.
Cool.
Okay, one more thing about that. Just one more quick thing, I promise.
Okay.
I just want to say none of us are paid by none of us are paid by, let me specifically go with Drip in this instance so people could whatever, but no one's paid by Drip. We would tell you we're paid. We don't have no qualms in saying, hey, we got paid by X company or Y company. It's not a big deal to us. It means nothing to us as content creators. None of us are paid by Drip. None of us are infected with the butterflies that you've been watching, Peacemaker or whatever. None of us are anything. We all individually came to our own conclusions. And ideally, I personally, and I know Alice as well just said, but we would love to get these two people in a room and see what happens. That's it. All we want them to get together. And we take a step back. We don't want to influence anything. We just would love to see that happen. And that's what we want. Simple. We do think that it's going to help everybody. So if it can help SafeMoon, if it can help Drip, great. Let's get it going. So that's the idea.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, guys, just so everyone knows, we're not saying that you should go out and purchase any of these projects. These are projects that we just like to see come to the SafeMoon Swap. Whether it happens or not, we're just going to hope for it. And if not, they don't come, they don't come. But I just thought it's great just to see what people's ideas are, what projects they want to see come to it. And also, I really want to know the answer to this particular question. RJ, this is from the Great Gooch. Do a giveaway for that lamp, because I would like to apply for the giveaway, because I really like that lamp that you have there in the background.
This lamp right here was
Yeah.
given to me by my girlfriend.
Oh,
So
And-
she had it in one of her salons and wasn't using it, and it actually turns into 3 different colors. It turns into like a white, and it turns into like this like more of a moody color. So yeah, I've heard a thing for that, and no, I'm not going to give it away.
I really like that lamp.
Guys, room together.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Great Gooch, for that. And the Great Gooch has yet another one. I would actually want to, before I pull this up, I want to say that I want to see this myself. So, Joe, could you do a ninja kick for us? I mean, that would be.
Wait, I'm a 38-year-old dad bod. I'm not trying to get laid out for 2 weeks because you want to see a dad bod dude throw a kick in the air.
He doesn't want to displace his hip, guys. I don't think he's going to do it. It was a great suggestion, but he does not want to hurt himself.
Fat.
We got this from Crypto DeFi Channel for a $20 donation. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for the content. That is fire right there. Now we're going to move on to the next thing, and I'm going to give this to Generation Crypto because he is the insurance man of the hour.
Yeah.
This is something we talked about, I believe, on the last SafeMoon roundtable, and this is something that's super cool. This is something that was also brought up on SafeMoon Sunday. But Generation Crypto is into insurance. He loves it like no other. So how special is it to have insurance on SafeMoon's LP, and why should people be excited by something like this?
They should be excited by it because it's going to set a new precedent, right? So previously, there wasn't really any like standard of what needed to happen with a project in DeFi when DeFi was kind of starting out. Then people started to realize, okay, the best thing to help with DeFi is if we lock the liquidity so it can't be just rug pulled by the development team. That's kind of a good thing. And people were talking about, well, now we need to make sure we have an audit team. So there's these companies that were set up to audit projects so they can go through the contract, make sure there's not vulnerabilities in the smart contract, make sure that the development team is going to be a good development team. And that led to doxing of team members, whether it's through KYC, whether it's just through putting their name and face out there. People started to have these like kind of security features that were built in. The issue is with all of these different security features, there was still rug pulling. There was teams that were, Certec certified. Their whole dev team was doxed. Their LP was allegedly locked, and all of a sudden the project was rug pulled, right? So all the safety features were there, and still rug pulls were happening. And so having an insurance on the liquidity pool is awesome, because what it means is if someone wants to hack the project or run away with the LP, the holders aren't the ones left holding their bag figuratively, right? There's going to be this level of, if I lose on this project, it's not because it was hacked or rug pulled, it's because it failed as a project. It failed on its own merits and not because there was an outside source that ruined it for everybody else. And so obviously with insurance, there's always exceptions. I work in the insurance industry, there's always exceptions. And so being clear what those exceptions are is going to be an important factor to understand as this kind of develops in the space. But I could definitely see insuring LPs, whether that's through group insurance or other projects that like create that, is an awesome feature that we could see in the space where these projects can get their liquidity pools insured, their contracts insured, so that way people don't have to worry about this nonsense of being hacked and other issues, because the stuff that gets hacked is going to get replaced by that insurance provider. So I think that's going to be an awesome opportunity. I'm just curious to see kind of what the exceptions or exclusions are going to be. Now, obviously, this does not mean your individual bag is insured, right? In the same way that other insurance works, that doesn't mean that your bag is insured. So you still need to keep best practices. You still need to keep and take care of your wallet, your seed phrases, and have security be at the forefront for your individual wallet. This doesn't insure your wallet, insures the liquidity pool for the SafeMoon project as a whole. There does exist currently insurance out there for DeFi that you can take out for your individual wallet. I'm not going to show other projects about that, but there are other projects out there that do that if you go research on your own, that do offer services like that if that's something you're genuinely concerned about. So if you've got a large bag and you've got a cold storage wallet, you've got all the features, but you're still worried, go do your own research. There is other projects out there that do exactly that, and you can get insured on your individual bag. But this is specifically for the project, and I think it's an awesome feature. And hopefully it's something that other projects in the future, once they're able to get big enough and they have the funds, this could be something that they could do as well as following Safemoon's lead and setting a new level of security for the projects.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that this is going to change DeFi space. I think this is one of those evolution moments where you're going to see a lot more projects talking about this. I think this is just going to show how you run the space from here on out. And I'm excited to see who else starts insuring their LP just to further protect the people that want to invest in it. So that's all the questions that I have, or that's all the stuff that I have now that's under SafeMoon. We're going to go through some super chats. I just got one more. And it is, let me get down to it. I think this is how much will the SMSE or SEX affect the price of EO? I don't even know what that means. So if anyone has any idea what that means, speak up now.
That's end of year. So what is the SafeMoon exchange going to have an effect on the price end of year? Is essentially what they're asking.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that abbreviation threw me off. Who wants to take this? Raise your hand and I'll call on you. All right, fine. Atlas, there you go.
All right. Well, I've talked about this in the past. I am personally very excited for the SafeMoon exchange because I think that's going to add the most credibility out of these things to the general community. If you get the exchange out and it shows that it's secure, that they have operating functions that's more value play, like the reflections, the tokenomics, if you can bring that across the board outside of just SafeMoon, there's a big incentive driver there for a lot of people that are using other exchanges to want to go move over their assets to this one, right? Like, why would you want to keep your assets on, I'll just use an example. Let's say Kraken. You want to keep your Bitcoin over there. Well, that's fine, but it's not doing anything, right? But if there's volume activity that's happening on the SafeMoon exchange and they do go through with what they hinted at before, right? Things can change. I'm not trying to put pressure on the SafeMoon team, but they had talked about this in the past. Imagine if other people were trading Bitcoin on the SafeMoon exchange and you just happen to own it in your wallet on the SafeMoon exchange. And there were reflections that were native to that own token. So now you're seeing your amount of Bitcoin technically go up because of the percentage of ownership that you have in comparison to the other wallet holders of that asset on the SafeMoon exchange. So that in itself would mean that people that aren't even necessarily supporters of SafeMoon are wanting to use SafeMoon's products and services because of all the other rewards that they receive. So I just lightly to touch on this, when we talk about the card earlier, one of the things that I was wanting to try and pitch out there was that I would love to see it to where when you go to pay with your SafeMoon card, that you can use any of the cryptos, which is what they've kind of talked about. But imagine if the kickback rewards on every purchase, you got a little bit back in that same native crypto and also in SafeMoon. So what that would mean is that people that are not necessarily prone to wanting to show support for SafeMoon, they're still getting it as a secondary reward. But the thing that they're really interested in, they have something that's coming back on them from that. And now that they have some SafeMoon on the side, let's be real. You see the SafeMoon price kind of going up. You're happy that you have that there, and maybe you're more inclined to want to engage with it. The SafeMoon exchange itself, though, big question is, when does it launch? Because its effect on the price, if it comes out in December of this year, it's not going to have that much of a price change, right? If it comes out next month, there's a lot of opportunity that comes into play, especially when you look at how many cryptos are getting launched on the exchange. I think it's more than likely we can all agree here in the round table and everyone else that's watching in the chat, all the cryptos that are currently involved with the SafeMoon swap are probably ready to go to be onboarded for the SafeMoon exchange. As far as for anything else that gets listed on there, that's a different story. But each exchange has different listings on the centralized exchange. And I think the centralized exchange will play a key component role on the back end for the SafeMoon Connect. That is my theory on it. So I think it's all dependent upon when it launches and how many projects are available on it and how they progressively move forward with it in conjunction with everything else. So it's a bit of an open-ended question that I can't just throw out a number for.
Awesome. All right. Well, here is another super chat. I really like this one. I like figure skating, and I was watching it last night when I was actually talking to Crypto Atlas on the phone. But the Great Gooch says, Crypto Atlas has women's figure skating on right now. Do you? I thought it ended last night because I was watching it last night. Do you have women's figure skating on right now?
Pretty sure that TV is off. So
okay.
I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe they hacked into my system and it's another TV in the apartment or something.
Gooch is
And
drunk
that's a
right
little
now.
creepy.
He's actually gonna see my wife, seeing what I'm eating, seeing if you do figure skating. Go to
Wants to
sleep,
know where your
Gooch.
motorcycle is. Wants to see you do kicks. This guy is he is a
Go
good
to
time.
sleep.
Funny story, real quick. I've only figure skated once in my life, and I was a little kid at the time. I think I was 11, maybe 12 years old. And I remember I was with my mom and my brother, and the ice skates that they gave me, they're supposed to have the little spikes on the end of the ice skates to help you stop, right? For whatever reason, the pair that they gave me didn't have that. So not only did I not know how to skate or even rollerblade, and never even done that, here I am, I don't have a mechanism to help me try and stop. So obviously I was having a lot of struggle, but at one point when I was just starting to look like everything was good, I started going backwards. I was doing like reverse circles, and it was like as if I was a pro, but I was literally trying to move forward. So yeah, just fun little side story.
Oh, I like that one. All right, everyone. Here's a new section of the show. It's called Warning, This is Not SafeMoon related part of the show. These are some cool things that are happening in the DeFi space, just stories about us in DeFi, not necessarily having anything to do with SafeMoon. If you don't want to watch it, then turn it off. But the first question that I'm going to throw out is the first time you got rugged. So I just want to hear about your experience, the first time you got rugged. How did you first experience it? I'm going to start my first rugging. I think it was kind of my fault. I actually bought SafeMoon Cash. I thought it would be like Bitcoin Cash. It was not like Bitcoin Cash. It didn't last very long. It got rugged 100%, and I lost all my money that I invested in it. Luckily, it was only a $5 investment, but that was the first time I ever was in a project that got rugged. I just thought it was fun to buy any project that was named SafeMoon because I was really into SafeMoon itself. Just buy SafeMoon itself. Don't buy the other SafeMoon projects. I don't think they're valid, and I would say stay away from them. But that was my first time ever getting rugged. How about you, Generation Crypto? What was your first being rugged?
First time being rugged? I don't know. I bought in so many different ERC and BEP20 tokens. There was a point in my life, it's actually how I found SafeMoon, believe it or not, that I was just buying like all the new tokens. I was waiting for them to like 3x, and then I was just selling them. I was just like riding all the new tokens as they were coming out. This is way before I was a content creator. And so I would literally buy like 10 projects, no research, and it was literally gambling. That's straight gambling is what I was doing. And I was trying to ride them, and then I would take the money I made from the last one, and I would do that to the next one, and then on and on I went. And that's actually, I went into SafeMoon for the same reason. That's how I got in so early. And then I realized that like there was a lot of hype around it. I looked into it more, and I ended up keeping my bag and adding more to it and all that good stuff. And people have heard that story before. But I've done that before with ERC and BEP20 tokens in the past. So I can't really say which was the first that I got rugged out of, because I've definitely been rugged many times. But I can say that the token I think that like I was most memorable to me for getting rugged was probably I think it was called Gen Wealth. I thought it was a cool product. I actually wanted to cover it on my channel. I think I did one video on it because I thought it was really cool. And after covering it, it rugged, and I was like, oh man, like the dev team seemed good. Like all the indicators for me to indicate it was a good project seemed good, and I was disappointed that didn't end up working out. So that was probably the first time I felt disappointed in a project for being rugged that I actually like wanted to believe in. But I was rugged multiple times before that, and so I don't know which was the first. But that was like the most memorable of recent memory.
Yeah, I mean, this DeFi space is wicked. You really have to be... I think that's why this swap by SafeMoon is so important, is because they are vetting these projects. But before there was vetting of projects that go onto swaps, we've all decided to take dives in the projects just for the hell of it, just to see if we could 10x or 20x or 100x or 1000x. And I myself got rugged quite a bit. And someone mentioned Safe Vault. I got rugged on that. Now it's something else. How about you, RJ? Have you ever been rugged? And if so, who was your first rugging?
You know, I was going to say, I would pride myself in the fact that I have a 100% rating in not being rugged and choosing projects, but that is a lie. I actually was part of one, and that sucked. It was, what was Mark's first project? It was like XBSC or whatever.
Surge.
Oh, okay.
Surge.
Oh.
Surge BSC. I had about $500 in there. And the highest I saw was at like a G or something like that. And then all of a sudden they released all that communication. And yeah, that was the first one. That was the first one for me. I was actually about to come up. I was like, yes, I haven't been rugged. And then I was like, no, that's a lie. I was part of Surge. But yeah, Surge is the only one. Is the only project that I have been a part of that has been run. I try to vet my projects very carefully. I don't like to do a lot of degen plays. I like, if you guys have seen my channel, it's a lot of videos that I have vetted and has been out for a while, including Strong, Phantom, and stuff like that. So hopefully no more rugs in the future. But yeah, we just never know.
How about you, Moonboy? Have you ever been rugged? I don't want to say that because I think I know the answer to this.
Well. We know about the recent one being Earn Hub, but
who was who popped your rug cherry?
SafeMoon Cash. So
you did it too.
Yeah.
You bought SafeMoon Cash too.
I actually discovered a SafeMoon Cash from SafeMoon's Joe video, and he was so he brought out SafeMoon Cash. And he was like, guys, you see this? It's a scam. Don't buy it. It's a scam.
No.
Don't buy it. And I'm like, Joe, it's going to go to the moon. What are you talking about? It's safe. Your name, it's going to pump. Why would you not buy it? So I'm like, man, Joe, you don't know what you're talking about. Let me buy this. Boom, $200. And then it's like a couple weeks later. And I was like, damn, they should listen to Joe. Joe said it. Don't buy this. It's a scam. Never buy anything that's not SafeMoon. I'm like, Joe, I'm going to buy that because go to the moon. I want Lambos.
Yeah.
You know what? That's why I bought it too, Joe. You're the reason I bought SafeMoon Cash because you told me not to. I went and bought it. On all honesty, I bought $3 worth, so it wasn't like I lost a ton of money on it. But yeah, that was my first rug project.
I feel like this is like when a dad tells you not to buy something, but the kid does it anyway just because the dad said no.
It's human nature. Don't push that button. No, I'm gonna push that button.
Joe did a very good video saying not to, and in my head I was like, do it, and I just did it. But I have a really quick, small story about it. So it's something else. So a couple of my friends jumped in this token called Space Viking or something. It's something Viking. So they launched a token. Hour after launch, they were in Telegram hyping it up. Guys, we're pumping. We're going to Valhalla, and there's a bunch of Indians, right, saying Valhalla. So it's actually a very funny accent. I didn't buy it, but I was actually listening what's going on. And then they were just like building up to this big climax. Guys, ready for Valhalla? Boom, rug. And then they deleted everything. Deleted Twitter, deleted Telegram. Everyone's funds were lost. And getting rug is not fun, but I thought that was because of the hype, it made me laugh, but it's not a fun situation. But I didn't buy that token. A lot of my friends lost out on that. And I'm not going to buy a token that's called, Viking something. So, yeah.
All right. Before we get to the next contestants on your first time of getting rugged, we're going to go to the Great Gooch. And the reason why his questions are so absurd is because he is just high as hell. So that is why, in case you guys were wondering why his questions were so absurd, he may have had too much the sticky icky, but he still came back with, the Great Gooch said, my wife gets rugged when we play Choo Choo on the
Go to sleep, Gooch!
All right, I'm done.
This dude, what does that even mean?
Okay. Crypto Atlas, when was your first rugging?
So I've only had one rug pull that's been pulled on me, and what ended up happening was, Pancake Swap. The difference between it and SafeMoon Swap is SafeMoon is very picky about what projects that they get listed. But when you look at Pancake Swap and the Binance Smart Chain, tons of new projects get listed all the time. And so on the PooCoin.app website, I found out that they had this feature in there where you can go and look up all the new projects as they get launched in real time. And it gives you a disclaimer. It tells you that, like, hey, most of these projects are going to be scams. Really be careful what you invest into. And so I was playing around with it, and I'm like, well, I want to see if I can get in literally on the ground floor in a project. So that night, what ended up happening was I was looking at different names. One of them sounded like could potentially be a real project, and I wasn't seeing it 2-3 times, just showing up as another new contract, right? So I did a Google search, and I pulled it up on the charts. I saw that trading was now officially live for it, and the price was already starting to climb. Some transactions were coming in, and I found their Twitter account. And I'm like trying to move fairly quickly because I'm like, okay, this already sounds kind of like a cool project. Okay, they have these followers on Twitter. Their website looks legit. But I was like, where's their contract? It says that they're launching today. So that even matches up with what they're talking about here. Maybe this is the real thing. I don't know though if this is somebody trying to scam off of it or not, but I couldn't find the legitimate contract for the project. And so I saw the price. It went from like 10 cents. The next thing I know is like $3.50. It was going up to $5 a piece. I was like this. I just YOLO'd in $600. The very second that I did that, all of a sudden, every trade stopped. There was nothing. No one else participated. It was just done. And never saw anything from it again. I tried to transfer it back to the same asset, and it was like transaction failed. There's like no liquidity backing on any of it. So I lost $600 on that project.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think this is important just to talk about it because, we all decided that we were just going to go in and just try out projects. And this is important in this time, in the space. There are a lot of people that are getting rugged. In fact, there was a huge increase in rugging projects in DeFi, so that's something you need to watch out for. And that's why SafeMoon Swap is special to a lot of people because they are trying to go through these projects and try to find the legit ones. SafeMoon Joe, who popped your rug cherry?
So I bought a rug on purpose.
He bought SafeMoon Cash. He bought SafeMoon Cash.
No.
I'm kidding.
I was hanging with my buddy one night. We were talking on Discord, and I randomly came across one called Charizard Inu, and I remember talking to him, I was like, this is so goofy, this is so fake, like this is gonna rug. He's like, bro, buy it or you don't like Pokemon. And it was like 4 a.m. So I was like, bro, shut up. So I bought some. And then it got rugged, and I'm like, yeah, it did. I didn't buy that much, but I bought some knowing 100% this is gonna like Charizard Eno. Like the dev team was like, oh yeah, we can't wait to like, you know how when they make those like goofy promises, they're like, oh, we're gonna have an exchange in like a month. You're like, okay, whatever. Here, take our money. I just want to have it. So
I think it's like a rite of passage if you're in the DeFi space to have to experience being rugged, right? You learn a lot actually from it, and if you move forward, you start to look for you start to take more precautions, and you start to look for certain things if you're actually wanting to get into a project, because it's still DeFi, right? It's still the wild, wild west. So
that brings me into my next topic. We don't have a lot of time. We're probably just going to go until 11 o'clock, but it's things that need to change in the DeFi space. Obviously, I think SafeMoon is actually bringing those changes into DeFi, but I'm going to say I think that a lot of projects need to be insured on their LP. I think that's super important. And then I also think that exchanges, no matter if it's SafeMoon or not, I love how SafeMoon is vetting these projects, but I want to see other exchanges starting to do this as well, just because I think it's important as an exchange, as a company, to want to protect the users that use your exchange and not solely list anything just for money. So I think these are things that need to change in DeFi space that I see right now, but I know there are a lot of other things, and I'd like to get your guys' opinion on it. Just try to keep it short because we are running out of time and I want to go through everyone on this. So I'm just going to go right down the line. Generation Crypto, what was something that you think needs to change in the DeFi space?
So in my personal opinion, I think education. That's like number one. So the reason that rug pulls happen, the reason all this goes down is because of there's taking advantage of people who don't know better. So the general public being educated on how DeFi works, how it operates, basic safety procedures, a basic understanding of what to look for in projects, what to do with projects and that kind of a thing could go a long way. The reason there is an increase in rug pulls, the reason that these things even happen is because there's people that are making money from it. So if everyone is educated on what a rug pull is, how it works, what to look for in a project, and how to do it, they would have no more market, and it would dramatically decline the amount of rug pulls that are happening because less and less people would be participating. So to me, the biggest thing is education for everyone's security, safety, and so that everyone can prosper and understand how DeFi works.
I agree. How about you, RJ? What needs to change in the DeFi space?
yeah, that's a good one. Education for sure, because if you know what to look for, even if you don't know how to read code, right? If you know how to spot certain things, that will help enormously. Okay, I found a project that I really like. Let's take a look at their smart contract. Okay, that's a red flag right there. I don't like that, right? You can also look into certain things that a lot of people are going into now, which is, rug doc. So that's them presenting their KYC to a third party to audit. And they're like, okay, cool. If we were to rug and run away with your money, you send our information to the police and all that stuff. So now you have your KYC, your rug doc. and then of course an audit of some sort, whether that's from Paladin or Certic, or there's other third-party auditors out there where they can give you a review, because there's a lot of projects now with audits, and you can read what some of the concerns were, and then with that information you can then make a more educated decision whether you want to invest in the project or not. With Safemoon doing their whole insuring the LP thing, that's also possibly one that'll set a new standard for new projects as well. So there's new things that's continuing to evolve, and new precedences and standards being set. So I like it. I like where we're going. Let's just keep the education going.
Cool. How about you, Joe? What do you know? What needs to change in the DeFi space?
The attitude of a lot of holders, and that's not in like a whatever way to attack holders. It's so I'll tell you like from my perspective, when I first got into SafeMoon and started doing SafeMoon, if I saw another crypto, not only would I not pay it another look, but I would not pay it another look, and then if I saw people started to mention it more, I would just go, yeah, I don't care about that one, and that's not the best attitude. Not that I care about every single crypto, but it's still a bad precedent for a lot of holders. I think a lot of holders need to understand that diversifying is not that big of a deal, and the other way around is the same. So if you only want to hold SafeMoon, that's not a big of a deal either. I think anyone going to that person that's only buying a SafeMoon, they could be a relatively new holder and say, hey, listen, that's what I care about, so I could feel comfortable about. I don't think they should be told to diversify. If they want to do that, it's fine too. If they want to diversify, that's fine too. And we should be accepting the both ideologies of like that and just move forward together. Say, hey, listen, it's fine. You know, whether you're on the crypto or I'm on crypto, we still got involved in this, other than taking our money and buying whatever, you know, partying, investing in stocks or that jazz. So it's the attitude of of the everyday average Joe holder, but making it so we all understand that we're not on teams, we're in communities. And just because we're not together today doesn't mean we won't be together tomorrow. And I think Swap is doing that for a lot of communities.
Great answer. How about you, Crypto Atlas? What do you think needs to change in the DeFi space?
Honestly, I think SafeMoon Connect is going to be targeting this big topic, which is getting businesses involved in the crypto space. At the end of the day, when we get invested into crypto, we all started by using fiat and then used it as a way to get involved with these different plays. And for many projects, a lot of people say, well, what's the use case for that thing? Well, if it has value that's backed by fiat and you can use that as a means of exchange, now it's just about finding the vendors, right? So I think if SafeMoon Connect rolls this out efficiently to where you can take a card, you can go into any business and be able to buy those products or services with any crypto that's associated on that project, then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. As long as you're associated through that ecosystem, you now have this going through and being a part of the ecosystem, having it circulating and getting money actually flowing, getting money flowing back into businesses and helping grow the economy and that kind of a thing. I think that's going to be very, very important. And then just lightly, a second thing I'd like to point out too is everyone needs to stop this whole like Spider-Man meme where everyone's pointing at each other. Your project's a Ponzi scheme. No, yours is a Ponzi scheme. No, yours is a pyramid scheme. Like, guys, you have even highly educated individuals in the crypto space who don't take the proper time and research about certain other projects, and they just crap on it and they just throw that term out loosely and people buy into it. The reality of the day is it's open source network. You can go look at the contracts for yourself, white papers, there's KYCs, there's tons of audits. There's lots of different things that are there that can provide value that people need to get educated on. And instead they just hear that term and they use it so loosely. So I think we need to get past that and really go back and focus on education.
Good answer. Before you answer this, Moonboy, you're going to have to take a bong rip and sit in the jacuzzi, or take a fat rip. I don't even know. But either way, no more fat rips tonight. Things that need to change in the DeFi space.
Man, this is a problem going last. Generation took my answer, then I had another answer, then Joe took it, and then Atlas just finished off whatever I could have added on. I'm like sitting here, man, like how am I going to add to these guys? I'm just going to say education. Education. People hop into projects not knowing anything about anything. They're going off the opinion of the massive herd of people who they're talking to and hearing what their friends are saying and going off of that narrative alone. There's far more when it comes to what DeFi is trying to do versus just your one individual investment. There's a lot of projects that are trying to do various things within the space of either giving people their own finances, taking their money out of a bank, putting it into a high yield protocol, or putting into another asset, or putting into a essentially a savings account for crypto where you can earn interest. There's a lot of things going on in DeFi that, there's a lot of education lacking, and I'm sure there's a lot more to be had. This is still a new sector within crypto. So crypto is new, but DeFi is newer. It's not a word, I just made it up. Newer. So people just need to learn more. And I feel like that's going to come with more time in the space. You're never going to learn everything day one. You're never going to learn everything within your first year. But as people understand and see what's going on, they can actually see, how these protocols functions, and how does a 1% get paid out per day, and how do these tokens, they pay out based off of every 6 hours with a rebase. There's a lot of different things that are very, very confusing. And if you dive very, very deep, there's a lot of information in DeFi. So education is massive. I feel like SafeMoon is doing incredible when it comes to having education section on their website, as well as vetting tokens and vetting protocols that gives people at least the confidence to know that I might not have to deep dive too much, but still forever do your research and learn more. You can never learn too much.
I'm gonna say this. There you go. Thank you for putting.
Yeah, I just saw this one, Tracy. This is great. Security. That is what is needed in the DeFi space. So many scammers. I agree with you 100%. Security is a huge issue. I mean, no matter where you go, if you're on Twitter and you tweet anything out, you get like 1 million people that are saying, "Hey, find me on Google and fill out this form and give me your seed phrase," and all this other stuff. So it's really disheartening when you see how many people get scammed. Security is a huge thing. The Great Gooch says, "Tim, bring me up as a guest speaker next time." Okay, if you're not super high, you can come on the show. We need to get good content out of you.
As long as Adam's here, anyone can be high. So we
is
all be high one day.
Yeah, it is a little over 11, but I do want to answer this last part. If you were a troll, what would your name be and why? I haven't even thought about this yet, but I should have, because then it would sound super smart if it came out of my mouth. But since you went last, Moon Boy, now you get to go first. If you were a troll, what would your name be?
Man, people are going to hate me. My name would be the Safemoon Dripper. I think that would be incredible. I would love to combine people's loves and people hate and just meme all day. You hate this, you love it, let's put it together. What do you think now? The Safemoon Dripper, guys, let's see it.
RJ, what would your troll name be?
My troll name. So there's been a lot of my close friends like to take like the first part of my name and just replace it with something. So if I'm like with Brandy, I'm Bay J, right? If I'm hungry, I'm Hangry J. So mine would just be Troll J, straight up.
All right, that's a good one. How about you, SafeMoon Joe? Now you're an evil troll. What would you be? Who would you be, and why would you be that?
I got two of them. It's either Safe Cash Joe or God, how do I say this word? Whatever. It'd be Safe Moon after evening.
Okay.
Well, that's a very good troll name.
Joe, you're so ridiculous.
Get them good, boys.
How about you, Crypto App?
I'd make him think I'm in the same mood, and I start yelling at everybody. Now I'll get him.
Joe's ridiculous.
Is someone else high on this program that I'm not aware of?
That's just so clever.
How about you, Crypto Atlas? If you were a troll, who would you be and why?
I would name myself Chris, but it'd have a $sign at the end for the S. Either that, or I would be like Crypto Sucks, or I don't know.
Crypto Sucks.
Yeah, just like every place, it doesn't matter what you're talking about. It's just like your stuff sucks. It all sucks. Prove that it doesn't suck. It's like you didn't prove that it sucks, or it doesn't suck. It still sucks. I don't have the best troll name.
Just so everyone knows, the Great Gooch promises he won't be too high if we bring him on the show, which is great news because we can't have someone too high that they pass out.
That's a lie.
Generation Crypto, you are now a troll. What would your name be and why?
It'd be Degenerate Crypto.
All right.
Play on my name, and I would just be a degenerate, just out there trolling everybody on space.
All right, I like that.
And then I would host spaces that would just like drop everyone. I'd kick people out left and right. Be like, hey, let's get your opinion. I don't like that. You're gone.
The goal would be the Alex Jones of crypto, with sources and stuff.
I have source.
All right, my troll name would be the Steamy Rug Puller. I would steam your rug as I pull it.
What? That's taking it too far. Oh god.
I'm just gonna steam your rug as I pull it, man. That would be my troll name, and that's why it would be my troll name. You guys have been great tonight. Thank you so much for coming on the show. All the people in the comments that had great comments to say, thank you so much. All the people that donated to the show, thank you. You guys want to say goodbye? I'm going to start off with Moonboy. Say your goodbyes, and then we'll close the show out. But thank you for coming on, everyone. And Moonboy, go.
Hey guys, always a fun time. I love these guys. Like I say it every time. We're all friends here. We, talk offline every single day, and it's always a good time when I actually get to see them. We talk through text, but we actually get to interact here via voice and seeing each other when we actually do the live stream. So always a good time with the homies over here. So I appreciate everyone. Everyone who's viewing, watching, I appreciate the continued support. So keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing, and thank you for being part of our SafeMoon, our community, our crypto community, as well as our SafeMoon content, whatever we actually diversify into.
And you, Crypto Atlas.
Thank you, Tim, so much for hosting this week, and thank you all that are on the roundtable for not just being participants in this, but for being my friend as well. Like Moonboy said, we talk offline with this stuff too. Me and Generation just played some video games the other day. And thank you, everybody who tuned in. God bless everybody here. I am praying that everything goes well this year. Things are obviously quite on edge right now in the world. Let's just be real. In crypto, the stock market, what's going on with countries and stuff like that. So let's try and stay positive. Let's try and encourage each other. And, SafeMoon is my baby. I do invest in other things. And I think that there's a lot of good opportunity here, and we'll keep doing the best that we can to keep you guys updated. And so thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. SafeMoon Joe.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate Tim and the rest of you guys for hosting and doing these things. And I really appreciate the community, everyone being here today. It's always weird. I always say, like, you guys can do anything. We can all do anything. But yeah, we're here today united in our passion for a better financial future. And it's something that a lot of people... it's not fronted, but we always think about is what's the best way of getting involved in it, having a better financial future and all that stuff. So I do appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much, everybody. Make sure to subscribe to every single one of these fellas. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, because the information announcements will give, the opinions they give, the ideas they give is all different, but it's all in the same overlapping theme of having a better financial future. And I think it's important. I think it's great to look around and get as many people as possible. Here on YouTube, there's no fighting. No one's arguing. We're all hanging out, joking, and having a good time together. And we're pretty relaxed because we understand the end game goal is the only thing that really matters. And the path to get there is different for many, but it's still the same of people trying to do the right thing. So I think it's great for everybody to, like I said, join up, get involved. And I appreciate everybody for doing so.
Awesome. RJ?
Yeah, thanks so much for hosting, Tim. You did a really, really awesome job. Kept everyone in check and just had it nice and organized. I absolutely love hanging out with these guys, and we love presenting and doing this for you guys every single Tuesday. Like Joe said, we could be doing anything else, literally anything else. But here we are having a great time talking about things that we love, talking about sharing our passions for the DeFi space and SafeMoon, of course. So thank you so much. Generation, I'm gonna have you plug the Discord because I don't know the numbers in there. I think we're like over 1,000, right? Something like that.
Last I checked, we're over, I think, 1,300.
I'll pass the torch to you. But thanks again, Tim. Thank you, Moonboy Atlas Generation, for this awesome evening, and thanks to everyone for tuning in.
Thanks. And Generation, would you like to say your goodbyes?
Thank you everyone for tuning in. We had a lot of great laughs today, a lot of great conversations involving all things DeFi and especially SafeMoon. I think all of us here can say that we all love SafeMoon. It's our baby. Content on SafeMoon isn't going anywhere, but we cover other projects as well. And we love every single one of you guys that come in and participate with all of us, that support us. None of us would be here on a live stream like this if it wasn't for the audience tuning in, right? Otherwise, we'd be just talking to ourselves. So thank you all for tuning in, listening in, and supporting us. With your views, with your time, which is very valuable, and with the few of you who also supply us monetarily with your memberships, and all the other contributions you guys give through the super chats and everything else. So I really appreciate every single one of you, and I'm very humbled to be on this panel with these amazing gentlemen, as well as to be listened to by the amazing community in all of DeFi.
Awesome. All right, well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next Tuesday.